got
Okay.
this.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
It's just a bunch of rogues. Suma's like, you guys got that any day of the
They're
week.
so puny. I lassoed one in one turn.
Wait, what is Suma doing then? Is Suma just with his kid?
Well, okay. The reason why I'm not coming is because Suli got one with like some vines, and so she's like trapped in her vines. And I was like, well, I don't want to just leave her alone with a little stabby crow man. But the vines are theoretically stationary, coming out from the ground. So I was planning on doing something different. But we'll see how it pans out, because who knows?
Hello, hello. I love your hair, Talon.
Thanks, I just woke up.
It's a style, you know?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, welcome everybody back to our, what is this, session 87?
Yep.
I think,
Holy.
session 87?
Wow.
Oh my god, 13 more to go. Just kidding.
We really have to end it on 100, so we gotta really.
You
Why
gotta
do you
end
think
on
we're
a
gonna
nice-
live that long?
Yeah.
a nice round number. Yes. Welcome back to the wild, magical, fun-filled celebration known as the Gem Haven Carnival here in the Feywild. All around, fairgoers hoot and holler. They scream as they ride like magic roller coasters. They cheer as they toss rings on the horn of a prancing unicorn. All is good and all is well, but the Eladrin Knights here at the carnival are on high alert. Previously, a bottle had been unwittingly stolen from the prize stand, spirited off of its pedestal as Ruby ran by as if drawn to her by magnetism, and a cadre of knights was summoned in order to aid in the capture of this thief. They are combing the grounds. On the other side, there's a commotion that erupted near the carousel, where apparently a bunch of strange rogues have been apprehended on suspicion of intentionally breaking people's masks. And beneath the surface, beneath all the merriment, something is brewing. And nowhere is it clearer to see, ironically, than in the Hall of Illusions. Gallet, Ruby, and Alok, you reunite in a circle of mirrors that seem to have kind of spawned out of nowhere in the wake of Ruby's conversation with her goddess Priscilla. Gallet, as a reminder, is in the shape of a giant ape. Alok is clinging to his back. Ruby, as Gallet kind of like bounds up to you like on his knuckles or whatever, Priscilla's words echo in your mind. She's tasked you with retrieving artifacts containing her power, which apparently lie scattered across the Feywild. And she's informed you that a year and a half has already passed back in Ela. That is where we set the scene, and that is where we will continue. You guys reunite. Alok was the only person who really saw Ruby get punted off of Gallet's back and was able to steer the ape back around to come collect your friend. What do you guys do from here?
Do we have any idea where they are? Gallet, did you see where they were going? Right. So we just like reconvened, right?
You just reconvened, so you don't know what Ruby heard.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you moving? Am I going crazy? Are you moving?
I'm on a walking pad. Is it distracting?
It's like you. I don't know. It's like you have like a green screen behind you while you're moving. So I'm imagining you're in a forest right now.
He's actually
but it just
vlogging down
doesn't
the street
fit.
right now.
Yeah.
This is more immersive, I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. No, like
I'm
you're in
walking with you through the Hall of Illusions.
Uh, I know that we need to find and kill the bird people, so I'm gonna smell for the birds. Can I smell for the birds?
Sure. Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right. How do I? How RD20 plus 4. Let's try that. Nope.
/R.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
I don't need that plus 4.
Okay.
I smell my tick.
On a nat 20 perception check, you sniff the air and you can sense the traces of. It's not that the Kenku themselves have like a scent, like a birdie scent or anything like that, but you smell the scent of like carnival peanuts, like the ones that they like sell, like popcorn and stuff like that. You sense 2 of those scents, and you are able to track them down. You pick Ruby back up on your back, and you start charging through. At this point in time, are you intending on like smashing through the mirrors again, or are you trying to like take the turns?
If I'm pretty confident I got the smell, I'll take the turns.
Okay. I would have let you break through them. It's just I would have dealt a little bit of damage every time you did so, because it is glass. Okay. You take the turns, you wind, you track them down, and then abruptly, the scent terminates. You enter a strange area where there aren't really any mirrors around you anymore, but there is like lingering smoke and fog creeping along the ground that is kind of like wafting up and forming into shapes. It is almost as if one of them has tossed down one of their smoke bombs, and this is sort of like what is remaining of it, and it is also what is sort of blocking out the scent they left behind. There's this pungent, sort of acrid smell wafting up from the smoke in these like sort of smoke powder bombs. However, as you arrive there, you hear a voice. Welcome to the Hall of Illusions. A lot of you are powerful. That much is clear. Taking down 3 of my brothers is no small feat, let alone tracking me to the twists and turns of the maze. I had hoped to lose you sooner. But alas, it seems your nose was keen enough to drive me to this point. I will warn you though, now that you have come this far into the hall, you are firmly in our domain. I suggest you turn back, lest you get hurt. I need all 3 of you to give me a perception check.
So again.
Okay. Okay.
It's a 14.
Okay. Oh, it's a 14. Okay. Gallet. A new scent. Carrying over in that nat 20, you're pretty firmly attuned to sort of the sense of this place at this point. You smell something new, something pungent and almost invasive. It is the scent of brackish water, which is when sort of fresh water and seawater sort of mix and mingle at the boundaries of certain bodies of water. A magic hums to life in this place. One that is at once strange and deeply familiar. Like seeing a long-lost relative you've never met, and yet you cannot deny their similarity to faces you've known all your life. It's one part Calypso's magic, and yet another part of it reminds you firmly of Ophelia. Alok. On that 15, you look down and you sense that your amulet is going haywire. Not in the sense that it's causing things to happen or that it's malfunctioning in some way, but it's almost like when you're moving a magnet around a compass, the compass goes crazy because it's like wants to point to something, but it's like it keeps changing and shifting and moving around. it's almost as if it doesn't know how to react. Your keen attunement to, your god, to boundaries and thresholds lead you to believe that there's something very funky happening here in terms of boundaries. The boundaries between places, between realms, is very thin here. You are not aware of the conversation Gallat had with Calypso, or the conversation that Ruby had with Priscilla. But if you were, you might draw a line between the two and think, elsewhere in the Feywild, it would have been difficult for those two goddesses to reach their the opposite of patron, the other form of patron, patri, whatever. They're chosen. But here, the boundaries are thin enough that those connections can happen. Ruby, there's perhaps something in you that is distracted. Perhaps not having heard the voice of your goddess in a long time has kind of shifted your focus a little bit, such that as the other two are coming to their own separate realizations, distracted in part by those, Ayla looking down at his amulet, Gallat sensing that smell, that energy in the air, none of you realize until it happens that the path before you, the smoke clears, and you are surrounded on sort of two sides by mirrors. It's almost like there's two mirrors like this before you, forming the point of an equilateral triangle, where the base of it, the path behind you, the path that leads back to the carnival, remains open, such that the way forward is two of these mirrors, and the way backwards is back. On the surface of these mirrors, you do not see yourselves reflected, but you see two separate scenes entirely. The mirror on the left, you peer through it, and you see a circular room and what appears to be a tower of white stone, littered with plain yet elegant furniture. Upon a chair here rests a woman clad in resplendent white, who is feeding an ivory-feathered raven that sits upon a gilded perch. On the right mirror, there is what looks to be like a lavish dressing room, where a young lady, no more than 17 or so, is standing on a pedestal wearing a luxurious red ball gown that is sort of draped in part by furs and pelts. A golden tiara sits atop her dark, curly hair, and her sort of strapless dress exposes both like her very kind of muscular arms and shoulders, as well as the clear sort of discomfort she feels at wearing this outfit. Around her, attendants like kind of scurry and fuss, attaching pins to like alter the fit of the dress and kind of attending to the floof at the bottom of her train. Alok, on that successful perception check, you get the sense that stepping through these mirrors to advance would place you in these scenes, though to what end you are unsure.
I should fucking kill them all.
Oh, actually, Gallat and Alok, give me a history check with advantage.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we know these people. I'm a advantage. Oh, one of these people is gonna be the Locky, maybe. Locky lads.
I doubt it. I mean, I'm a monkey right now.
Does
I
it
don't
use?
know how.
Oh, probably more.
Wait.
Gallat,
It's a -2.
Even as a monkey, both of you guys recognize the figure in the right-hand mirror. That is Queen Ada Romina Islegard, 27th Queen of Laki. You also figure that where there is a queen, knights are not too far around. And she certainly is no slouch herself in the combat department. Probably not on the level of you guys, but certainly can like kind of handle herself in a fight if you guys are intending to go in that sort of route, as your comments seem to indicate. Which of these paths would you like to take? Yeah, go ahead.
Would we at all have like any idea of what she looks like Like, have we ever seen her? Would we have an idea of like, oh, maybe she looks younger in years than we've seen her last, or older?
She definitely looks older.
But like, would it make sense like timeline wise since we last seen her, or like maybe it's like not the real?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, you guys were nowhere near on the level of nobility, so, like, the most you've seen of her is, like, depictions in, like, books or, like, papers or something like that, or, like, on, like,
Weird
royal
coins
decrees,
that are
like a
newly
coin or something
minted.
like that. Because this is a little history refresher. Nobody remembers this. I barely remember this. She took the throne when she was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She is roughly 17ish, 16, going on 17 at the moment.
Okay.
Probably when coins were minted, there probably would have been another minting at like 15, like every 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So she does look a little bit older than what you would recognize, but it's hard not to recognize a famous face such as hers.
Okay.
And the woman on the left, however, you have no sort of bead on. Neither of you even get a chance to roll for this. But you can give me an insight check if you want to kind of ascertain her disposition.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'll throw one out.
I don't know. I don't think I care.
Oh, well, Ruby, we're gonna rely. Oh,
Oh.
Ooh. Alok, this is actually kind of interesting. Ruby, you do not get strong vibes from her either way. She seems to be a pretty neutral party. Like, you're aware on some level that the government of Laki is aligned in some way with the Red Wraith at the moment. That much has been sort of like shown by like Gawain leading those warships and the warships showing up at the Battle of Ravenhall. So that you can ascertain, but this lady, you are not sure. Alok, on your end, for whatever reason, there is some passing sense of familiarity with this woman. Not in the sense that you know her, but like something about her presence, her visage, her demeanor puts you a little bit at ease. Like you're fairly sure you would be safe around her. That's what I'll give you on a nat 20.
Interesting. So we can either go with the princess or the queen that likely has guards that might, not like us there. Or we can go with the person.
Isn't Gawain still there too?
I think he is kind of close by us. Not like close, but like he was on the ship nearby, right?
That was also actually only Ruby knows this, but it's been a year and a half
ago. Yeah,
that was just a year and a half.
Yeah,
that's true. Oh, that also.
Okay.
So they could be fucking anywhere.
We also don't exactly know if these mirrors are gonna bring us to an actual place or just like a simulation of a place, which is
that is true.
There's two ways to look at this. If it is real, this could be a good chance to talk to the Queen of Locking and be like, hey, things are kind of fucked. But I don't know if she would just trust 3 random people and one of them being a giant ape, disappearing.
Who just show up in her dressing room in the middle of nowhere.
That might not go well, but I think it's probably also just a simulation. I don't know about you guys, I kind of get like, I feel like if we go into the left one here with this woman that's maybe like a mage or something, I feel like we'll probably be safer there. I don't know.
I look behind me to see if Ruby's in or against.
Alok said this out loud, right?
Yeah.
Or is this?
Yeah, that was to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will throw in at this point. Hey guys. I just talked to Priscilla.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's Priscilla. And I think it's been a year and a half since we left.
Oh.
So if that changes anything.
I mean, it changed. I don't know if it changed anything with this decision. It definitely changes things.
Yeah, maybe like let Suma know too.
Oh, do I have the thing to talk to Suma? I think so, right?
Yeah, I think it's you and me.
Yeah, with the stone.
The sending stone. Yeah.
I'll quickly do that. Actually, I'll just give you a quick recap. Like, okay, we got into like the Hall of Mirrors things, and then Oh yeah, I should be talking like this. And then apparently Ruby talked to Priscilla. We are a year and a half later. Also, we are probably gonna step through your portal, and maybe we'll never come back. We don't know. You almost here?
That sounds.
Assume
that
I
sounds
said
crazy.
Ruby said hi.
I'm trying to call the guards right now to get someone to take these crows off my hands, but I also have a southern accent right now.
That's
So,
true.
just by laugh, it
Well,
took
you're
a minute
looking
to
good.
kick back in. Thanks so much, Ruby. You too.
Oh yeah, it's on speaker.
Well, that just sounds like a crazy
Speaker stone.
situation. Let me know what you choose.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll let you know. We're probably gonna go with the one on the left that has like some person in the white robes.
Yeah, she sounds hella rad.
Yeah, right? That's the vibe I got.
Or we could split up. Because that's fun.
That's true. You go to the right one, the Queen of Lockie's there, maybe you can talk to her. That'd be cool.
You know, I didn't consider that. That's definitely a thing
How
you
could you
could
not
do.
consider it? How could you not?
One of us
I
will go in
really-
there and wait for you. We'll split the party 2-2, like we normally do.
You know
Alright.
what? Hell yeah. You know what? Hell yeah.
Actually, one of us is going to stay behind. So it's going to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 4 wings.
One of you stays behind but doesn't go towards Suma, so you're fully
be.
split
No,
up.
no. Just
That would
stay
be-
there.
Oh, just stays put. Just a big monkey sitting down, looking at these mirrors.
I just think
I don't understand them.
It's
annoying.
definitely interesting that you didn't immediately think, what if they split in this situation?
I just felt like you were split up already, and I was like, I'm not gonna split up again. But you know what? Yeah, you guess you can split
You
up.
know?
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
down
catch
to
that
die.
simulacrum so we can split it 5
That's
ways just
sick.
to make sure.
I love that. Yeah, let's probably not do that. So I think, I mean, unless you guys do really want to go with the queen, because I do think there's some potential merit to that. I think personally, I want to go into the left one. I don't know if he's shaking his head no to both of them.
Yeah,
maybe.
the first
Oh, it's itchy.
question.
Ooh,
Second question.
Got me.
Hungry?
does that stay in his stomach when he turns back?
Palace boy.
Alright, let's go into the left one. Are you gonna be able to fit in here?
Okay.
He's just gonna
I
break
try
in
to
and he's
fit in
stuck
the
behind.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
You
do it.
guys walk towards the left mirror. What becomes clear pretty soon is that whilst you were looking into this mirror, you were also looking out of an existing mirror as the three of you sort of walk forward and then kind of tumble like through like sort of there's some sort of like kind of space distortion of like, you guys' forms somehow fit into this much smaller mirror. Like the mirror you walked through was like, you know, like floor length, like tall enough that like two of you could like stand on top of each other and then walk through. But this is more like just a mirror that would sit on like a dresser, basically. You guys appear through, kind of stumbling through, and this figure looks at you, and you see the raven that's kind of like eating out of the palm of her hand, kind of just like flicks its head towards you. It goes, ah! But her face at all does not seem angry or afraid. She just looks kind of like curious. She looks at you. She says, "Well, hello. You're not supposed to be here. It's not yet your time."
Her?
She says that.
I feel like, I don't know if Ruby does this, but it like pauses for a moment, like not expecting to talk to her, just like waiting for Gallic to talk, and like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, it's very funny that Gallic can't talk for any of this stuff. I guess he could unpolymorph whenever he wants, but
But that's
this
a
is
whole
also,
spell slot!
Yeah.
that is a whole spell slot, and you might fight. I don't- you know, you might fight one of these people that you see.
Yeah.
And then Alok just looks at Ruby like,
I take them both off my back and present them.
we're just like being held up. Hello.
You know, it is custom to introduce oneself when you barge into someone's room.
I mean, it seems like you perhaps already know who we are. Lady with a cool bird. Cool bird.
My name is Vesper,
Esther.
and while I do not know who you are, And I never said I knew who you were. I only said that you shouldn't be here. After all, the three of you are living. Although, and you see her eyes trace over you, Alok. She goes, although you're not quite living, are you?
It's up for debate. It's a little bit of both.
She walks up to you and kind of just like very gently traces a finger over the gem of your amulet. And she says, I see. The three of you are in grave danger. Did you walk through that mirror of your own accord? Or were you baited somehow?
Well, kind of both. We had two
Mixture.
options. So we chose this one.
Well, I would have rather cross words with whoever lured you towards walking into one of those mirrors, because your existence in a realm you do not belong in, it is tenuous. It is fragile. Your bodies are not meant to travel in such a way. As such, and sort of on cue, I need all three of you to give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, wonderful.
Also, just thought, like, we didn't even question whether or not we should even go into a mirror. We just did it.
Yeah,
Like, there's
I
no
just knew you
question
guys
on it.
would. I knew you
We're
guys
like,
would.
oh, options, let's choose.
I'm pretty sure I was just following what someone else wanted to do. So
I love that this is the one time I don't get to make charisma saves.
Okay, Gallet and Alok, you're gonna take 4 points of damage as you feel your bodies crack, as if you are somehow made of glass. Ruby, you will take half that, so just 2 damage. Oh wait, do you get another save? Do you have advantage or something?
No, I have to make a Constitution saving throw each time because I'll lose the
Oh,
form.
right.
God, please blow it next time.
You see, she says, your souls are unstable due to the nature of your travel. I advise you, if you are going to continue traveling in this fashion, I would advise you to beeline towards the nearest mirror that you can. Entering another mirror will take you somewhere else. I happen to have one. And you see she like kind of opens a drawer and reaches out and then kind of pulls out like an ornate sort of hand mirror. Looking around this place, it looks kind of ancient. It looks not ancient in a dilapidated way, but ancient in sort of everything in here looks like it belongs to a time long past, but is in like great condition. There's like ivy growing along the walls, lots of plants in this room, lots of greenery. This place brims with life and sort of a sense of comfort, maybe a sense of peace, perhaps. You see she kind of offers you the mirror, and you see it glows, and through it, you can see another intersection of 2 mirrors, with presumably the other side being back out through this one.
Okay. I do have a couple of questions, though, if you don't mind asking.
Of course.
Or answering, sorry.
Ask away.
First of all, where are we? Who are you? And I guess that's just those two.
Well, this is a place that used to be called the Isle of the Lost. Souls lost in various different ways used to come here as a sort of purgatory, a trial to see if they deserved certain further considerations, ranging from reincarnation to rebirth to moving on to a different afterlife. But as I said, most souls that arrive on these shores are dead to begin with. And the 3 of you, with the exception of you, of course, are not.
When she says that, do I kind of feel like the same feelings I felt whenever I died before? Is this somewhere I've been?
I'm gonna say actually yes. You get this sense of like your amulet feels so at home here. There is something in this place that resonates very strongly with you and your amulet. This is an in-between place.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps a place where you have been, or perhaps sort of the place where you were is very similar to this one. It's kind of hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely get the same kind of vibes.
Okay. Do you know who I am? Are you related to Terminus at all? Do you know about this amulet?
I know little of what's happening in Ela. I miss it, really. I haven't been back to my homeland of Loki in a very long time. She is a Loki lady. And you see she says, however, I know a few things about Terminus. His son used to be interred here. You may know him as the Ferryman. Until relatively recently, on a cosmological level, another descendant of his also would frequent these shores, but no longer. Go ahead and give me a history check on that, Alok. And actually, Gallet, give me what's the funniest check for this? Give me a charisma save.
Again? God
With
dang.
your stats.
Was it with Gallet stats?
Yeah, Gallet stats.
Okay. Charisma saving throw.
Gallet, something dawns on you for some reason when she says a direct descendant of Terminus and the ferryman used to frequent these shores. For some reason, Aramis's face pops into your head.
Yeah. I just blow my nose, a little bit annoyed.
Like there's this gut feeling.
Yeah,
You're an
like
ape right now.
It's this dude, ain't it? Again.
it's like Nemesis sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alok, you remember from your history check that this is just related to you and your in the Terminus stuff, is that the ferryman was punished a long time ago for sort of like blurring the lines a little bit and deciding for himself instead of upholding the strict balance or whatever. And you're not really sure how he was punished. It seems he was being tortured or imprisoned in some way in this island. And perhaps that his presence is also what's radiating a sort of Terminus-y vibe about the place. You see, she says, I imagine that sometime soon your bodies will, or your souls will begin to splinter again if you stay any longer. So if you have any more questions, you should ask them now or risk getting hurt.
Do any of you guys have a question? I don't want to take all of them.
I reach out a finger to pet the bird if I can.
It's very gentle. It kind of like nuzzles up against you. There's a wisdom in its eyes, but also a playful mischief.
All right, I'm satisfied.
Okay.
I put everyone back on my back if no one's gonna ask.
I do have a question. I just didn't want you guys to not be able to ask.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to whisper it to me?
No,
Or to her?
I just didn't want to be the only one asking questions if they had one. I didn't want to cut them off. But if they don't have one, then no, I got just a normal one. Actually, I asked who she was. Did she answer before? I don't remember.
She said her name was Vesper.
Yeah, well, I asked her after that if.
You see, she'll clarify that she is. I'm one of the caretakers of this island.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything else to really. There's obviously things to ask, but I can't really think of them. I guess last thing before we go, is there any way for me or any of us to come here or contact you or something, just in case it's important later. I don't know if it will be, but it's nice to know someone else related to Terminus.
This place is rather cut off from your, how should I put this? Your reality. However, when the Black Shroud lifts, this isle will be accessible once again. For a little bit of clarification, I may change the name. The Black Shroud is like the outskirts of like the storm that encircles Ela that prevents people from outside of it getting in. Which is why the only the world the world map that I made like 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's more world outside of this, but no one can kind of get in and interfere. That's why Ela's kind of like locked down in this like sort of state of like things playing out over and over and over again. It kind of locks in here, and when that shroud lifts, which is basically just a thick shroud of like storm clouds that prevents anything from passing through. When that lifts, sort of the rest of the world will be accessible again. So like, I'm not saying I'm gonna do, if there was a campaign too, it would likely be like the people of Ela meeting what the rest of the world is actually like. Which they can't at the moment.
Okay. I've got no more questions that we have time
Maybe-
for.
Have you thought about showing her your theme, your accessory?
Which,
Not that you have to.
what are we talking about?
The amulet?
Your amulet?
Hasn't she already seen it? She's like touched it.
Yeah, she's seen it. You see, as you sort of like look down at it, she looks at you and she says, as I'm sure you're likely aware, these mirrors on some level evoke the magics of Terminus. Should you have difficulty finding where another mirror is, I would reach into your amulet and it will show you the way.
Okay.
Although, if you are too close to the one you just came from, you might need to get a little bit away from it before, or else it will be kind of pointing towards that.
Hey guys, we can 100% this by going backwards and hitting the other routes as well, and just hit everything.
I nod aggressively. That sounds
One of
fun.
One of them might have the relic that we need to find.
I also did not think of that actually.
What if they have a
hell
Zodiac
yeah.
relic or something? We gotta go there.
You know what? But hell yeah.
And then Suma
Yeah.
just doesn't do anything. Actually, Suma, you can hit the other routes we don't go.
Yeah,
I don't need to
Yeah. Okay.
participate.
She hands you the mirror and it glows. She says, when you're on your go, you guys ready to step through? Or sort of like activate it?
Oh, by the
and,
way,
like, be
we never
whisked
said our
through?
names. I'm Alok.
Yeah.
Alok, is it?
Alok.
Alok is your name.
Is that Tom? We're not even in the Feywild anymore. I guess he dances twice. He does two moves.
Actually, the pact's wording was, as long as the festival is still going on.
Oh god.
It didn't say while you're at the carnival.
That could
It's
be
while the carnival is
whatever.
running. Just for the record. Okay. You guys introduce yourselves. Vesper gives you kind of like a kind smile in a way that's sort of like, I hope I don't see you soon. Because she's sort of in charge partly of a sort of a death island in a way. Okay. You guys pass through the mirror, and as you pass through the mirror, you switch back to what Suma's doing.
Long.
We turn back to you, Suma. You've just gotten off of Speaker Stone with Alok. He's kind of giving you the lowdown of kind of what's going on. You see Suli is kind of like right by your side, keeping kind of a paranoid looking watch over the tied up Kenku. Like, it's her magic that did it, but she's like, didn't fully control it to do that and doesn't really know what the rules are. She's kind of like, Father, if I look away, will it stop being there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't think so.
Yeehaw.
Howdy. No.
What should we do now?
Well, here. I think we're a little bit out of our depth. I mean, God, the guards were warned about people going around taking masks off, so I'm gonna send up a little thingy, and I'm gonna try to use my magic. I don't really know which spell. I don't have prestidigitation. I have flare blade. I have control flames. Maybe there's something in there I can send up, just
Control
like a little spark.
flames.
I like
Just
how
a
Seymour is
spark
talking
of,
with a southern accent, or like Liz is talking with a southern accent.
It's
just-
infectious. It's infectious.
really
You simply must.
to send up just like a flare.
Sure. Yeah.
So that maybe a guard will come.
Yeah. I think you can like green flame blade on your sword and just like toss it in the air,
Mhm.
and sort of like it arcs up high. Pretty soon, you know, I think guards come to your location anyway because you're sort of nearby to where the commotion broke out, right? So you had initially taken down, I think, one of them, like right there in the sort of by the carousel, and then they went a little further away, another one way further away, and you brought them all together. A couple of guards come to you. You see they go, "Hello there. Did you do all this? What's going on here?"
Well, you see, what happened was, and I'll describe the attack that I saw and us intercepting it. Well, there's a couple more, and they went towards the Hall of Illusions. They're being pursued, but I don't know if they're getting away or not.
The Hall of Illusions. Oh, that's very bad news. See,
Why?
the Hall of Illusions is sort of like the thing where once the ride starts, you can't really go in until the ride is over.
Oh, jeez. Well,
So, you know, now
is
that
there a way to
however,
wait for them to come out when the ride is over? You know, just
well,
to be
of
prepared.
course. You know, unless there's some kind of weird, inexplicable magic going on, they'll have to go by
Right.
outside the normal entrance. So they probably just intended to sort of, you know, lose their pursuers for a bit, and they're probably not going somewhere else entirely, which is totally fine. We'll set up an ambush on the other side, ready to strike the moment anything comes out of that tent. The
Now, hang on,
millisecond.
I
We
just
won't
have to-
even think.
I just have to warn you.
Hit first, apologize later. That's the the Eladrin Knight code.
All right. Okay. Well, if you see anyone who, they were all Kenku. Now I don't want to be a profiler or anything,
Oh,
but they were all
Kenku.
Kenku.
Is that why they're
And,
all tied
so-
up?
So if you see any, I got that. If you see any that don't look like that, they might be my friends who are pursuing them. So just, you know.
But what if they're in disguise?
Well, there's no accounting for that. I don't know. I don't have any.
But we will be
But
on the
just
lookout.
check, you know.
And you see he goes, this is truly dreadful news. I mean, ruining the fun of the carnival with wanton attacks on the populace. I can't believe it.
Yes, well,
I-
we were warned that there were people who were destroying masks, and that's what these folks seem to be doing, so that's...
Well, yes, but sort of, you know, to do that in a place of merriment is, what's the common for this? A dick move.
I so agree. You're so right.
This is unprecedented. Listen, the Eladrin Knights are also on the lookout for a thief who may have stolen
Thief?
one of the artifacts from the prize booth. So, we're a little bit short-handed at the moment, as, well, let's just say a lot of weird shit's happening kind of at the same time for some reason, and I don't know why. But, I'll tell you this. You seem quite capable. Do you think you could just, this is not a big favor or anything like that, like nothing crazy, to sort of escort some of the people whose masks were damaged to, the mask maker, Quatza? She can help repair them and to make sure nothing bad happens.
Of course. I'd be happy to escort some folks over there.
Oh, thank you so much. Here, he reaches into his pocket, little pouch, and pulls out 500 tickets. And he goes,
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
I trust you to make good on your promise.
I will. We will. So you want to help me escort these fine folks to the mask maker?
Oh, yes, of course. you see, she looks at you. She says, "Is it gonna be dangerous? You think?"
I hope not. I mean, we caught these guys and the others ran off after those. Unless there's something completely different that is weird going on, I think it should be fine.
All right. Well, you see the guard that kind of walked up to you, who has a salt and pepper mustache. I feel just by the nature of his voice, kind of like nods gruffly and he goes, "Well, good luck. I've got to go chase down a thief." And then he kind of like runs off in one direction. And Sully looks at you and she says, "Something's been bothering me a little bit.
What is it?
There's a mask maker in town who can sort of just repair the masks whenever, I mean, why bother breaking them in the first place?"
That is a good question. I wonder if... Well, I don't know. Maybe we ought to ask her some questions when we get there. See if... see what's been going on her end. I wonder if... I don't know. Worth keeping an eye on, though.
All right. And you escort sort of a small group, maybe like 6-7 people. And they're all wearing like upside down popcorn bags with like holes cut out for their eyes, to cover their faces. They're kind of like walking with you guys, like kind of holding each other for comfort. This is a great sort of social taboo has been broken here, and they seem to be sort of like trying to deal with it as best as they can. And you see Sumi walks next to you, and she's sort of just like, "Can I ask you a question?"
Of course, anything.
You set out from home because you wanted to find me.
Yeah.
That's not the question. But did you like adventuring?
You know what? I did. Yeah. It's all kind of strange in the old noggin, because for a lot of the time I was mad and sad and all sorts of things. You can imagine why, but
Right.
at the same time, I mean, I met my friends who I love very much, and I have enjoyed being in their presence. I think they're fine people, and I've seen things that I had never got to see before. And, you know, I think if it weren't for the cause of why I had to leave home, it was quite the expedition.
Do you have any favorite parts?
Favorite parts?
Other than the end, I suppose.
Well, I don't know. I suppose just seeing things that I never would have gotten to see otherwise. I guess it's kind of frivolous, but you know, you get to meet kings and queens and avatars of goddesses, and it's, you know, you get to travel into old dark places with rival newt gangs, weird things like that.
Rival
it's just,
newt gangs.
Oh, I have to tell you about those guys another time, but I think it's just
10 minutes later, Ayla killed one? Just
yeah.
sort of grabbed it. Didn't he know that would kill him?
I think he maybe tried to put it back after because he felt bad. Poor soul. He's a tender little guy. But yeah, you know, just seeing things you would never get to see if you just led your life the way most people do.
I want to ask this question to you, Liz, as the creator of this character, Suli. How do you think emotionally Suli responds to these stories? Do you think that she has sort of an adventurer spirit inside of her, or is she more of like a tourist who just wants to hear the stories?
Yeah, I think there's a sense of adventure there. I think when she hears about these places, she would probably express some sort of like maybe I'll get to do something like that someday and see the things that you saw or something completely new.
Yeah, I think you see that in her eyes, and then they darken somewhat. You see, she says, "You know, I never got to see much of the world. Not in my first childhood, nor my strange, memory-wiped second. It was mostly between the Sunrise Isle and our home in Pelea. And wait, I don't think she ever went to the Sunrise Isle, right?
No,
It was
she's
just your
never
house in
never
Pelea.
been to the astral
Right,
projection.
never actually been there, yes.
Yeah.
Our home in Pelea and in the Underdark. And
Yeah.
under Yeska's, I hate to say the word care, supervision? Captivity is probably the better word. Under Yeska's captivity, I mostly got to see the inside of rooms. There's a part of me
Yeah.
that wishes I could go on a grand adventure like you did, but with perhaps less dramatic stakes. Although,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's necessarily in the cards for me.
I don't see why not. After we leave the Feywild, I mean, unless you plan on gallivanting off on your own, I assume you'll come with us and see the sights with us, such as it is.
But my power, this power inside of me, it is what brings the end. What if I'm just a liability if I return?
I don't know. I think that's something that we can't know about yet. Your power isn't an evil power. It's not a foregone conclusion. It's just power. And there's maybe a way that it can be used to bring about the right end of things instead of the dark end.
You see, she nods, and you see, she says, I hope so. I just wish I could figure it out on my own without the burden of a responsibility I'd never asked for. I wish I could just live, not in doomed following of some fated prophecy or in defiance of it, but just to make my own choices. It seems like everything I do is either line by line the word of destiny or in defiance of it.
Yeah,
I
it's been
suppose that's
seeming
my
that way
lot.
for a while. I don't know, I wish, God, I wish sometimes that I could just shoulder the burden for you, take it off your shoulders just for a day so that you could live a normal life. But no matter how much I wish something like that, no matter how many things I would do for you, I don't know that I can do that, but I can help to guide you through whatever you choose to do. And I just, whatever the future holds for you and me and the rest of us, I just want it to be something that you choose instead of something that's thrust upon you, because that's been happening for far too long now. And I just want you to be able to choose what your next direction is, whatever it is.
She smiles at that and she says, well, with you by my side, I'm sure we'll find a way.
Yeah, we will.
And from that, we cut away from Suma and Suli after that little chat. And we go back to our friends in the Hall of Illusions. Where's my yeah, there it is. Oh wait, didn't play. Hold on. There it is. Okay. We go back to the Hall of Illusions here. And you come upon another branching path, 2 mirrors. On one side, you see what appears to be the inside of an igloo, a small hut of ice blocks dominated by planters filled with pale light blue dirt. Some of them sprout with like white limp plants with like sort of like malformed leaves. You see above them complex like alchemical fixtures drip like weird liquids down onto the planters. You see like tablets with like notes, complicated notes, kind of like scattered everywhere and around. This, for whatever reason, this igloo is lit intermittently. It's like it's in complete darkness, and then some of the blocks of ice will flicker in a flash that lights up the room for like a little bit, and then it slowly fades. For some reason, like a strobe light in slow motion. The other side, the right side, you see just the inside of a house where a family is having dinner. They are dressed in strange but sort of plain-looking clothing, nothing luxurious or lavish, but it's sort of styles that you haven't seen before. And they're eating sort of like foods that like you guys don't really recognize. You see like a big fish that's like kind of slapped onto the middle of this large serving plate, and the fish has these like strange like green and blue scales that are kind of like ridged and have little spikes on them. And it's like definitely a fish. I don't know if I've seen that fish before. Which of these 2 paths will you take?
I point to the right one as my vote.
Because of the fish.
He wants to eat
I'd
the
point
fish.
the opposite way.
To the igloo.
I-
Alok the tiebreaker is so thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like the igloo might be in Edelheim, which could maybe give us some information before we get there. But it's also a weird alchemist guy. Now, surely the house with just a normal looking family isn't going to be some like cult people or anything, or just weird people. Was there like a kid, or is are there kids?
Yeah,
there?
you see, it's a very traditional nuclear family of like mother, father, boy, and a girl.
No, nothing to
The
worry about
picture like Americana sort of,
there. Yeah.
kind of family, but like in weird
Okay.
medieval clothes and strange styles.
Boy.
Oh, I wonder how many people have like a mirror in their dining room. That can't be common, right? Where's that common?
That's
Ooh.
true. Who wants to look at themselves while they
I
eat?
wonder if they're in the claw, and that's why we're not familiar with them. Or they're outside of the claw.
That's further reason to choose for the right, it's the claw.
I don't think we have any reason to go to the claw. Ruby, what's your reason for wanting to go to the snow one?
I don't trust the family, I guess. I don't like people.
don't-
You know me.
I don't want to talk to people either. It'd be really hard. But like the thing is, there's no way we go to the alchemist one, and there's not.
Well, can we do an insight check like what we did for? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, you
Like,
can.
I think
Absolutely.
that's a good idea. I think. What do you want to roll it? I don't know if I should.
Both halves of this party split are having very different experiences.
Very-
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah. I'm not rolling. I think it.
Ruby, you're not sure if you like their vibe on a 9. You're like, their fits are weird, and I don't like them. And I feel like they're probably strange, crusty people.
Actually, what like
seem
without?
too happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Do they seem like that? Like, without like an insight, just like a base what they're doing? Are they like talking? Are they like laughing? Is it just straight face?
Yeah, they seem like a normal family to you.
I don't trust that.
Maybe a little more serious, like not like they're having a time of their lives. You
Right.
get the sense that they're not exactly like rich or in like great comfort, but like they have each other. You know what I mean? They seem to like the food. Oh, you actually see like before they eat, they pray.
Do I recognize the prayer?
No, you do not.
That's interesting.
And the fish are weird.
And the fish are weird.
Maybe it's real yummy.
But
you
if the
don't know.
fish are weird, like, would it be the claw then? Because the fish wouldn't be like that different from Locky. Like, we'd probably maybe get some
Well, it's also
import.
I don't know if I can say it because I'm a monkey, but you should know that like already the fish, like there are changes below the water due to the red wraith, and it's been years.
That's a good observation.
Oh shit, you're right. So
That's a good. I did
we could-
not think that you would. Okay.
So,
I pay attention to the fish. I'm the
That's crazy.
fish one.
This is his thing. Okay.
so we could talk to them
True.
and get information on like what's going on. That could be good. That could be pretty good. But they also might be like fanatic and like crazy and like terrified, and it'd be hard. And our main talker isn't here to soothe them.
If we want, we could like cast something before we go in if we're worried.
What would we get out of the alchemist one then? Like maybe maybe we could find like a potion that's good there. Maybe if we talk to the alchemist, maybe they're helpful. But like maybe they're also insane. I don't know. Maybe we do go to the family then. I think that's not bad. What counts as a mirror? If we see is it anything reflective, or like it has to be a mirror, be a silver lined mirror, silver backed or whatever.
I would say it's anything you can see your reflection in.
And we saw a family portrait. I don't know. It's right mid class. Alright, I'm down to go with right. I know the family's weird, but when the ape started making monkey noises, I was like, oh wait, I had an epiphany that maybe that's just people messed up because of the wraith, and we're gonna go back to hell. So.
Okay.
Yay!
You guys enter through this mirror. Ruby being outvoted, I think you go last. Gallet charges first to get at that fish. Airlock in the middle. You pass through what appears to be like a mirror that is like a decorative mirror, tarnished and a little bit scuffed up. Definitely kind of an antique that's hanging over a mantle. You kind of come crashing down, and immediately the family panics. They each kind of like back up. They're like, obviously a strange, like 3 strangers, one of whom is a giant ape, has just broken into their home. And you see, instantly, each of them draw weapons. The children draw from a thigh holster, like daggers. The father, underneath the table, grabs a spear. The mother grabs a hammer. Each weapon, like the business end of it, is deep black, but kind of glow with sort of dark red runes. And you see the father goes, "Oshasivala sozandia, koshafizaleko, arashashontase." It is a language that none of you understand. But Alok, I'll say anyone can give me a history check, actually. Because why not? I had thought that perhaps someone with comprehend languages would be here, but alas.
Ooh, a 0.
Well, things happen.
Gallet, you're pretty sure that's Spanish. You don't know what Spanish is? But you're pretty sure that's Spanish.
Hola.
Ruby and Alok, both of you clock that this is not any language spoken within normal Ela. Alok's intuition rings kind of true. This is not common, undercommon. You've heard those. This is not Sylvan, Dwarvish, Elvish. This is not Celestial, which I think Alok knows probably. This is not Draconic, not Deep Speech. This is Zandusi, which is a language spoken only in the lands of the Claw. A language so complex, so difficult to pronounce, that Elin attempts to translate it has been thus far unsuccessful. owing partly to the fact that, and I think, Alok, you know this from like your time in the libraries, and Ruby, you've heard stories from some like particularly old-lived dwarves who like heard a story from like their grandfather of like fighting in the second invasion of the Claw, like repelling them. Soldiers from the Claw will kill themselves before like being questioned or being like tortured or anything like that. It's like so far, Elon like scientists and like mages don't know how they do it. It is almost as if they can choose to die whenever they want to, just to not give up any secrets of the state. So you don't know, nobody knows how to translate this language outside of like magical means of understanding it. That would be the only way. So you guys have no idea what they're saying. But if anyone can give me an insight check, you sure can try to get the vibe.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. Wow, okay. Ruby and Gallet, you get the very firm sense that this is not a like weird you are an enemy of the state type response. This is not like a clearly this is an Elon person, we must exterminate them. This is not like a prejudiced thing. This is purely a family who thinks they're under attack and who happen to be trained in weaponry.
Sure.
What would you guys like to do? They haven't like sort of like moved to attack you quite yet. They just seem to recognize you burst in, you're clearly a threat, and they're like in defensive stances, like ready to strike the moment that you approach, but not necessarily throwing themselves at you.
So the Claw, they believe they have a religion, right? Because they were praying prior.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They do have a religion.
I feel like we could do something in that vein, perhaps.
Okay.
Maybe could I use like thaumaturgy to like have like holy light emit from each of us or something?
That's insane.
The messengers of their god, the giant ape, the dwarf, and
Okay.
the elven-looking individual.
Okay.
It's weird now.
Okay, yeah, that sounds kind of dope. Okay. So you're gonna create like a holy light. Is that the form you want this to take?
Okay, so maybe like I don't know if I can do multiple things, but I was like, you could do harp sounds, and like angel choir, sounds.
Immediately just lying to them. I mean, I guess not much else.
Okay. You create like an ominous, like portentous sound, like running through the room. Is that what I'm getting?
Maybe just like a nice warm light emitting from us.
I can cast the spell light if you want me to.
But will it emit from our bodies?
It'll light up around us.
Could emit it from your armor. You could pick an item. That's so you can make your armor light up, and then you could do one of the sounds.
That's true.
Like the harp or whatever.
Oh. I thought like we would sing. Let's just like harmonize really quickly. Okay, so Alok is gonna make Ruby's armor light up.
Yeah. Ruby is gonna create a sound of like harps and kind of like divine choir type sounds, like that kind of thing, like a heavenly chorus. Okay, Gallet, Ape Gallet. What are you going to do to help sell this?
I'm gonna. So obviously I'm an ape and they don't know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna sound like I'm praying and like it's doing something.
Okay.
Be not afraid.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotta say, not how I expected this encounter to go. All right, so I think I'm gonna have Ruby give me a straight performance check.
Oh god.
Your friends are helping you, so it would be advantage, but it's disadvantage because of the context of the situation this is happening.
Yeah, there's a lot
You got
of-
this.
Can I do guidance? Does that work at all?
Sure. Sure.
I hope that they're just like.
That's part of your prayer. That's part of your
Yeah.
whatever thing you're doing.
I hope they start to like think like, oh my god, this is like a rival deity sending people to kill us for praying to a different god.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that fix it?
All right. So, okay. So, okay, from the perspective of this family, they're having dinner, they're praying over their hard-won catch that they bought at the market. You know, they got the best, like, weird, fucked up deep sea fish that was on offer. You know, they brought it home, they gathered the kids together, you know, kept them from playing so they could eat dinner at a proper time. They prayed together like a family does at times. And then a giant ape bursts out of the mirror over their mantle, crashes onto the ground, followed by two people. And then when they rightfully panic and like kind of draw their weapons to protect themselves, they start doing just like doing this. And Ruby's glowing and like sounds, and they're like talking, but like none of that makes sense to them. Yeah, I think for sure at least the parents are gonna make some attack rolls here. They leap at you, taking whatever this is as a threat. And I'm gonna say I feel like they identify Ruby as sort of the head honcho around here because she's the one with
ape.
well, she's the one with the glowing armor. You know what I mean? You're not trying to pass off the ape as the god. The ape is like a weird servant of the god.
I know.
For
I'm
some
just
reason.
saying.
It's sort of like, oh, if we kill the weird prophet, the goons will scramble.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the dad's attack. Does a 24 hit you? I'm pretty sure it does.
Sorry, yes, it does. That was long. Sorry.
You are going to take 11 points of piercing damage. And you watch as the dad stabs you with his spear. That's a really high roll. The runes at the tip of his spear glow. And go ahead and give me a strength saving throw. On a 14, a shockwave bursts out of the tip of his spear as if the tip of it explodes with force. And although you will take an extra d8 of damage, another 4 damage, you are not pushed back away from your friends. The mother's attack is going to go towards Ape Gallet.
Could I use my reaction for Wrath of the Storm?
You're going to Wrath of the Storm him?
Just to be clear, like, we should
Well,
not
I mean, can I
kill
just
these
push
people.
them back? Wait, are we what are we trying to do?
We haven't really talked yet. You do whatever your initial assumption would be.
You go with what you feel is right at this moment. You
If
are
you're
getting
so
stabbed.
annoyed that he's done this, your instinct reaction, your gut reaction would be to Wrath of the Storm him back. You can. That is an option.
Wait, so is he strong? Like, can I tell that he's like like because he hit me? You know what I mean? But like
His weapon is strong. I would not imagine that he's significantly strong. Like,
okay.
you could kill him in one turn, probably.
Yeah.
If you tried. I don't think that your Wrath of the Storm would kill him outright. I mean, actually, yeah, I mean, borrowing that insight check from earlier, you got, what, a 17? They're hardy. Even the kids look like they've seen some level of combat. But, like, the dad and the mom especially look like they're probably active military or used to be active military and are likely hardier than regular commoners. As for why they all have weapons, you figured that might be a cultural thing, and that much of what made that hit so painful was less of the father's strength specifically, and more of the weapon is enchanted, and so it is strong. But you figure he could take a hit or two, but not 3, if that makes sense.
Okay. Fine,
If you
I
want to
won't
push him back,
kill
you can. I'm not
Don't
saying you
tell
can't.
me.
I'm saying do it if you want to. I'm kind of down for that.
What happened to we'll kill everybody on sight. Changing the plan now.
Yeah.
I won't. I will just.
You won't? Okay.
I will be annoyed.
Okay. Then the next hit goes towards Gallet. This is the mom's hammer attack. Does a 17 hit your Ape C?
Yep. And also, I appreciate the Ape C.
Thank you.
Please
Okay.
fail.
That is going to be another 8 damage. That's an 8 damage to you, Gallet.
Don't
And
you
go
dare root for my loss.
And go ahead, and that's your con save. Give me a strength saving throw as well. It should be good since you're an ape right now.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Okay. You are gonna take an extra 2 damage from that. We'll count this
Dang
as
it.
1 attack.
Okay.
But you are whatever secondary effect this thing was trying to do to you does not occur. You tank the hit, beat your chest or something like that, and you watch as behind the mom and dad, the 2 kids go, "Shadashika, mother!
Oh my god!
And they run towards Alok with both their daggers, and you see the dad has a version of like the pole arm master feat, or is it maybe sentinel actually, and he uses the butt of his spear to like knock his kids aside to prevent them from getting close to Alok. And so the kids are kind of unable, they're not like harmed or anything, just sort of like pushed backwards and not entered into the fray. Okay. We're acting like this is a bit of a combat. You guys have another turn, basically. What would you guys... Oh, actually, at the end of that turn, everyone give me a charisma save.
Oh,
Almost
hi.
forgot.
Oh.
17, 13, and 14. So Gallet is going to take the full brunt of this damage. 12 damage to Gallet. As part of your soul splinters and cracks, Ruby and Alok will take half. As cracks start rippling through your bodies, compounding on the ones that were there from your previous visit. You have a choice. Alok, what do you want to do? Because you have the amulet which can sniff out other portals out of this place.
That's what I wanted.
You may choose what you want to do with it.
So how does that? Because you said anything that's reflective. Now, is it anything that's reflective, or are there like particular things that we need to find that are reflective? Like how?
I will say reflective surfaces. So, like a single drop of water would not do it.
Right.
A still pond probably would.
So, would I need the amulet if I just saw like something that's reflective?
If you just saw it, yeah. But in some cases, you might not see one in like arm's reach. You know, they might not be in the same room.
Do I see anything like that? Is there anything that has like glass on it, or like maybe metal?
Not in here. It would seem that their sort of cutlery and their plates are all like wood. They're all wooden.
Okay. Then I'll
wood and stone, I would say, as most of their kind of furnishings.
I'll try to sunset out with the amulets and find a direction.
Okay, do you want to kind of like head out of the house? Because you can definitely do that.
Is that where the amulet would point to?
You figure you'd probably need to get away from the mirror nearest to you to sense where the next nearest one is.
Yeah, I'll run out the front door and I'll.
You run out the front door. It is pitch dark outside. It is, after all, dinner time. You imagine that's the meal that they were having. You arrive in a place that is strange and utterly alien. The houses here are not your typical, box sort of frame houses that you normally see. They are strange and like very vertical and kind of like twisty, almost like miniature spires. There is an aspect to the frames of these houses that seems almost alive. like they're inside living things. Like it's not made of stone, but perhaps like a material like chitin, like exoskeleton of some kind of creature. The windows themselves are sort of like strange, almost like carapace looking structures, can kind of like flutter up like that, like blinds basically. And as you enter out, you see that in lieu of streetlights, like with like set kind of like poles, like lanterns hanging from them, the place is lit by like will-o'-the-wisps that kind of just like float and flutter into the air. And on closer inspection, you realize that they are some kind of descendant of like fireflies or like lightning bugs, that are quite literally on fire, or quite literally emitting lightning. You walk outside, and kind of as you cross the midpoint of this like kind of like black dirt road, you sense another mirror in kind of the house across the street, basically. And you are able to communicate that, if you like, to your friends. However, you may need to break into this house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll, if, how much can I do in the turn? I don't know how far I'm running.
I mean, you've just taken like a movement, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, across the street, I don't think is that far. Given your like bonus action dash and your action dash, you can get pretty far.
Okay, then I'll just like yell back. I'll just say like, there's something we can go through in the house across the street. I'm going there. Meet me there. I just yell that back into the house, and then I'll go across to the other house. And is there like a lockpick? Do they do that here?
It looks a little bit. It's not a very traditional lock. It is not a lock that sort of like fits into the physics of how your locks work, right? Like lockpicks are designed around like kind of like pushing down these pins and tumblers and then like turning it in a way. This is weird. Like the key that would fit in here wouldn't make sense as a static object. It would make sense if it was something that would slither into the keyhole and like press all the right things, expand out, and then turn. So it doesn't make sense for like a solid thing to go into it once. It's almost like you need to push slime into it. Slime would form, and then you turn. These keys are weird. However, you reckon you could use a little bit of your amulet's power to try and force it open, but you're not sure what the consequences of that would be.
We have a giant ape. We can break it open. I'll just.
You do have a giant ape.
I'll step aside, and I'll wait for them. Maybe
Okay.
I'll stealth. Can I stealth?
Sure. Yeah.
But if I see them, I'll be like, over here. I just want to stealth from anyone else.
Okay. Gallant and Ruby, you've been told that you need to go across the street. What would you like to do?
You want to go first, Ruby?
Yeah, I'm not staying around here. I would run out.
Okay. Ruby, you run out. You meet up with Alok. You see behind you the mom forgoes. Sorry, the dad forgoes any attacks of opportunity. He's already used his reaction to keep his kids away from you guys. The mom, however, definitely could still hit Gallet if she wanted to. Gallet, as Ruby runs away, what do you do?
I want two things before I leave. I'm going to tug on her spear. I want it.
She has the hammer. You want to try to... Okay, you want to like wrestle her spear out of her hands?
Yeah, no, she hit me, and I'm just gonna yank it out of her hand.
Okay, give me, we'll say an opposed athletics check.
Oh, jeez. Unfortunate.
She rolls in that one. She rolls in that one.
So I tug it out of her hands and go, and then I'm gonna use with my other hand.
What a brutal thing to do.
And with my other hand, I'm just gonna go over and grab from the dining table. I'm taking the fish.
You're taking these people's dinner and one of their means to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bold move.
Run outside.
Why did we leave him there alone?
It's a bold move. Alok, you're sitting there crouched in the bushes. Nobody follows you guys because they're just happy you're gone, really. On some level, it almost feels like the mom is like, honestly, as long as the big fucking gorilla is not in my house anymore, I'm good with that. You guys leave. You gorilla run out through the window. Alok, you're sitting there thinking, okay, we've made a tactical escape. No one has to get hurt. Gallet's gonna be around the corner to break down this door, and you see Gallet with a warhammer in his hands and a fish in the other.
Lucky lads.
An act which is maybe terrorism, actually, now that I think about it. Okay. How do you guys want to take down this door? Recasting a spell.
With a hammer.
You're gonna hit it with the hammer. Okay. I'm gonna say the ape does not have proficiency with this hammer. What I will allow you to do is just throw the hammer at the door.
Can I pick it up after?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what kind of check is that?
Just give me a strength check. It's a flat strength check.
12.
Okay. On a 12, Gallet, you hurl the hammer, just fling it. Fun fact, most other creatures in the animal kingdom, like nothing in the world can throw as well and as accurately as humans can. They don't have like the musculature for it, like the right like ligaments or whatever. Only humans can really throw stuff accurately. But you gorilla, you do your best. You chuck the hammer there. You're close enough that it hits right like where the knobs are and kind of like busts a hole through it to the point where like one of you, like Ruby or Ayla, could just sneak their hand around and just open it from the inside basically and open the door that way. Ayla, do you want to stay stealthed or do you want to like come out at this point?
No, I'm good now. I'm just gonna lead him to the mirror. Get out of here as soon as possible.
Okay, you walk in. You see similarly. There is another family. There's another family in here, and there's a mirror over a mantle. This seems to be sort of like a traditional kind of like setting. There's a mirror over the mantle over a fireplace. This is sort of like just a traditional like decoration type thing here. There's another family there. They draw weapons as well. Not all of them have like the enchantments, like the family across the street. These do not have the glowing red runes, but they are still armed. They seem, this culture, whatever it is, seems to always have weapons within arm reach for whatever reason.
Are they also eating food? Or what are they eating?
They are eating a series of fish, but they're smaller. Instead of like one big fish that everyone shares, they're like little mini fish, like kind of everybody gets like a couple. And these little mini fish, actually, they're less like fish, and they're more like slug-like a little bit. They look kind of gross and a little bit still slimy. There's like a layer of, they're almost like, I don't know, like lungfish or something like that, like something weird looking. And you see there's like a sweet and sour glaze on it. It smells pretty good, actually. It's just a bit unfamiliar. You feel like the texture might be weird, but it does smell good. What would you guys like? How do you approach this situation? This is a much more direct B&E.
So we're at like this. We're at a door here. They're like eating here, and maybe like the mirror's like right here or something, kind of. Or...
Yeah, it's like off on the side wall. You walk in, the living room, dining room is right there. Mirrors on the wall.
Alok's just gonna throw his hands up and just like sideways run around the room away from them.
Okay. Ruby and Gallet, how are you gonna approach this? Gallet, are you trying to steal more fish?
They haven't attacked me yet, so they have not earned that ire yet. But I'm a smart ape. I understand. I can see how things are going, where they're going. I put 2 and 2 together. They're going to try the same thing. So I'm going to do what apes do. I'm going to bang my chest and roar at them and see if that scares them off, you know? I want to scare them away.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Alright, still -2. 1, 2.
Okay.
Okay. On a 17, you see the mother just like drop her weapon, which is like a sword or something like that, and just grabs like her kid, like pulls her away out of the dining room. The kid looks like the kid looks like she wants to fight. But the mom's just like, no, this is like too advanced for you. You can't do this yet. And the dad is like hands a bit shaking. These people do not look military like the other family did. But
Alright.
your roar and chest beating, hard not to be intimidated when a gorilla breaks down your door and starts beating on its chest, I think. And you guys are able to successfully make it to the mirror without any more conflict from them. You scare them off. And cross through the mirror to the other side. And with that, at exactly an hour and a half into our session, we will take a bit of a break and come back to whatever Suma and Suli are doing.
This
Yeah?
was so worth it. I'm so happy we didn't go to the igloo.
I'm so
There was
sad.
like
We got nothing out of this except for you stole.
We have
the
a
stuff.
hammer and a fish.
What were you gonna say, Jane? Were you just saying about the igloo and how awesome it is? How
the
you missed
igloo
out?
was gonna be there'd be like some relevant. You learn basically nothing from going this route, but I thought it would be cool for you guys to be like, oh my god, we're in the claw. No one's ever been there. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if in the course of the campaign you guys will ever go there other than this moment.
It's
Maybe.
worth
I
it
haven't
just for
decided.
that alone. I've always wanted to go to the claw at least.
We've hit the
once.
claw in the chain of
We
islands.
did the claw!
Okay,
You were
that's
there in a
huge.
weird
That's
tangential
huge.
way.
We're gonna be through all the islands now.
When I thought we were gonna
We were
do like
just
the Ring
passing
of
through.
Islands, I never thought we'd do the claw. That's actually huge. We can check that one off.
Yeah, yeah.
Cross it off your
Also-
bingo card.
Really sad to know now this isn't like a simulation because I'm pretty sure it's not. So we totally could have actually talked to the Queen of Locking, which we missed out on.
Yeah, no, she
You
could have
talked to-
probably really
I
helped.
don't know. That was a combat. I'm just telling you right
Yeah.
now. That was a combat.
We could
That
have
was a
charmed
combat.
them. We're
It would have been
charismatic.
kind of crazy. I had a map for it. But just in case, the igloo had a bunch of like, sort of like lore and details about like what life is like for the average person now that the Red Wraith has kind of been running the show for a year and a half.
What we thought the claw would be.
See, not even
Uh,
important. Really, on the grand scale of things, empathy isn't really needed
To be
that
clear,
much.
that is specifically the reason I wanted to do the one that we did is because I thought that's what we were gonna get from this. So no, I would have.
We're gonna learn so much from the fish. Just you wait.
Yeah, you're gonna do some like experiments on the
True.
fish or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take like 5 or yeah.
Yeah, fiber.
Okay. Hello.
I was near tears with how absurd that was.
That was pretty fucking absurd. I'm not gonna lie.
The further this goes, the more happy I am that I chose Giant Ape. It's nice.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad because I was like, oh, I'm not planning to do like an actual maze where you have to navigate. This is gonna be this like trek through the cosmos type thing. So I don't know if like, oh, I feel bad if he wasted that polymorph thinking he had to break through a bunch of glass, but this is actually infinitely better. This is
Way
actually
better.
I'm
Also,
happy with
it
you,
is
though.
hypnotic watching you like walk each time I'm like trying to keep
Yeah,
up.
I saw your head bob. I had a feeling that's why.
It feels hypnotic,
is
right?
it
like,
distracting? Is it distracting?
No.
I don't know if it's I
In
don't know
fact-
if it's distracting. It's just like when you talk and you do that, it's just like like that snake that dances, and you're like, yeah.
I think it
Let's
was like you
go.
said in the beginning. It was immersive when you were talking to Suli walking next to
Uh-huh.
Suli. It was like
I had that thought too.
you put like your hands behind your back. I was like, "Yep, that's Suli right there. That's exactly what she looks like."
Are you having fun, Liz? Sorry, you're away from
Yes.
all the
I liked
all
the
the craziness.
surprise, and I liked that I wasn't there because I just got to be like, that's my girl.
For
Don't forget to
context,
water her hair.
I did a side campaign a while ago, also set in Ela, and Vesper was Liz's character.
Okay.
Oh.
I saw Liz had a reaction. I was gonna say like, "Oh, out of character. What the hell was that?" But I didn't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's been so long. I
Her
don't know if I
endgame form.
We should have
I
killed
don't know if
her.
I characterized her very well, but like, yeah, she ascended to a kind of god, not really godhood, but like to a very high sort of position.
Something demigod like sort of
What was her class?
like. Oh god, she was a
Sorlock, right?
She was a multi-class of undead, warlock, and divine soul sorcerer. Yeah.
Did
What more
she
can you tell
follow
me
a
about the
terminus?
bird?
No, she was a dead person who arrived on the island, and just through the course of the campaign was like, wow, it really sucks here. What if I made it not suck anymore?
Oh, was the campaign on that island?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
campaign
that's
was on
cool.
the
Yeah, we were
island.
all dead.
So they were like,
people.
they kind of
We were all,
died
like,
in a way, and they were in
Mm.
purgatory. And Liz's character decided to stay behind to kind of reform how the purgatory process worked.
That's
Um,
Nice.
what about
And the other people got to like move on to like other things.
Tylen's got a good question there about the bird.
What was your question?
Yeah, I just want to know more about the bird.
The bird. Well, the bird was there before Vesper. It was kind of like it guided her, right?
Yeah, it was like a symbol of Celestia,
Mhm.
and Vesper kind of did it a favor in a like a very not weird but like unexpected move. You know when you give your players 3 options and they pick a hidden 4th option you never considered? It was like one of those moments where I was like, oh fuck. I didn't think she would do that. It was like the situation was like
what it was.
there
Was
was this cursed forest called the Dreadwood, and these animal spirits were like making them do trials because I love making people do trials for stuff. And there were these 2 birds that were fighting. It was like a crow and an owl or something like that. And they had to choose. They had to pick one of them to side with, to like which one of us should rule the skies. Ooh. And then Liz
we
was
chose
like,
the Raven, right?
Yeah, I think you were like, oh, we picked the Raven, the White Raven. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was an option, but I guess that makes sense as an option, and so I had to rewrite the campaign.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was another Easter egg with that mini campaign with the tablet that we found in the Underdark like a million years ago, but I don't even know what we did with that.
Found a tablet.
We found a tablet with what was his name? The gnome, the Celestia gnome.
Oh, that was
Was
a
the one
million
that was
years
on the
ago.
fountain?
Yeah, maybe.
Or like
It was a
the-
long
the
time ago.
statue
I
with
don't exactly remember, but
the holder statue or whatever it was.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
ended
that
up
guy.
being that campaign was almost like a weird kind of prequel to this
Mhm.
campaign. It was a little
Yeah.
bit the backstory of like Aramis was involved.
He was there.
He was
God
there.
dang it.
Oh, of
He's
course he
always
was.
there.
It was when he
guy.
was using the Reaper for its intended purposes of taking souls to like purgatory and like various underworlds. And as a part of the conclusion of that mini campaign, that stopped being the case, and he started using the Reaper for his own ends. Just
I think he
fucking
was
around.
I think he was not as jaded back then. I think he was
Yeah,
kind of
he was like he was
normal.
young in his kind of immortal life. Yeah. I've been thinking as we near the end, I'm like, if I do another campaign, will it be in Ela again? And part of me is like, that'd be kind of fun. I won't have to make a new thing. But then I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's time to lay it to rest. I don't know. But as we have all returned, let's get back to it. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, we did 2 of the mirrors, and we're going back to Suma and Suli now. Okay. Suma,
Yeah.
we cut back to you and Suli at the door of Quartz's hut. Oh, let me... Actually, we'll keep this music. I think at this point in time, you're kind of on the outskirts of town, not so far that like the raucous tunes and laughter and music of the carnival is out of earshot, but enough that it's like kind of muffled and in the distance, kind of in the background. It's no longer like front and center overwhelming you. So I'm not going to put on the Frolicking Festival playlist. This hut seems to be in sort of a state of disrepair. It doesn't look very well taken care of. A possible explanation for that comes to mind may be like, oh, this person has been doing so much work repairing these masks that they probably don't have a lot of time to like attend to like their actual responsibilities, like the upkeep of this place. Because you figure crafting a mask that has magical properties of blocking mind controlling effects probably like it requires some labor, requires effort, like probably special materials and stuff like that. You and Suli arrive at the door. You see there's like a couple people there. What would you like to do? Suli kind of looks to you to sort of lead this expedition, and you get the sense, as you know your daughter very well, that it's almost as if she's looking to you for like as an example of like when she's out in the world, if she ever gets to do that, helping people, sort of being a hero, she's looking to you to be like, what does that look like? What is that? How do you conduct yourself, basically?
Mm. And the question that she had asked was, if there's a person in town who can just repair people's masks, why bother breaking them in the first place?
That is the question she raised.
Okay. Alrighty. So I'm gonna turn to the people who have been escorting, and they're all wearing like paper bags over their heads, right?
They are wearing paper bags over their heads.
And so they presumably have their masks, like the broken ones, like off or in their hands or something.
Yeah.
I think I want to try to get this Quartz, was their name?
Quartza.
Quartza.
But Quartz for short.
I would like to, I think, get them alone for a moment. But well, I'll take Suli with me. But I'm going to turn to the maskless folks. And I'm going to say, I know it would be hard on you for someone to see you in this state. If you like, I'm happy to take your masks into
Yeah.
into the hut.
Yeah.
Into the hut so that no one has to look upon you, as it were, until they are rightfully fixed.
You see one of them goes, "Oh, you would do that?
Of
Thank
course,
you so kindly."
absolutely.
Who are you, sir? I saw your work apprehending those miscreants, those rogues. Are you
Nothing but a
perchance
wanderer, sir.
a wanderer?
Indeed.
Very interesting. We don't often get wanderers in Gemhaven, but
Oh, really?
you are wearing a mask and everything. You've done well to sort of, respect our traditions. Would that we could have protected our own with our own strength.
Well, you'll get another chance to do so. A second chance after I take these in for you, and I'll be right back out with the repairs.
You collect the masks. In your hand, you knock on the door, and you hear a voice go, "Come in! The door's open!"
I turn to Suli and I just give a nod towards the door. Let's go.
All right. You see she's behind you, but her kind of fists are clenched as if she's ready for anything. You step into slowly, the door kind of creaks open. It's dark in here. It's bright outside. The summer sun is burning, pleasant, but certainly bright. There's the gems and crystals growing out of the houses, and at the tops of them, they're emitting these scintillating lights. But inside here, it feels cold. It feels musty. A weird, dank dampness. A strange, earthy smell in the air. Give me a perception check, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for Suli. We'll say she has a +2. Whatever.
Well, okay.
I will not. All you can get is that it certainly does not smell as it should, and the smell seems weirdly familiar. Like you've been in a place that kind of smells like this a little bit before, but you can't really place it at the moment. You step in, you feel your kind of skin run cold a little bit, and as you step through, the lights are off. Suli comes behind you. The door shuts with an echo. And a voice comes out, goes, "Here to replace a mask?"
I am a few actually from the festival. There's rogues about,
Rogues about? Oh, heavens. Things surely have gone downhill round these parts. Never would have happened when I was a youngin'.
Have you run into this problem before? I mean, seems like you're the premier mask repair person in town. Have you been in business quite a bit more lately?
Oh, business has indeed quite been booming. And you see finally, as you kind of step a little bit closer, you see kind of rounding the corner, there is a rocking chair that's moving back and forth. And you spy the figure of an old, spindly Eladrin, her face wrinkled and worn, shaded by the darkness of this room, but still somewhat glowing with an aged, wizened beauty. Her long silver hair kind of falls down to her waist, and it seems to kind of sparkle a little bit with a pale white shine. In her hands, she has a sharp knife, perhaps larger than you would think it should be for carving wood, but she is operating it quite deftly. In the way that a master chef can wield a large cleaver as if it was, a butter knife, with that sort of ease and precision. She's slicing different markings and runes and embellishments into the wood, personalizing it to each client. And you see on a little workbench, there is these big alchemical machines of a cauldron that is bubbling with a weird frothy concoction inside. It's a strong pungent smell. You see above it there's a collection of gemstones that are being melted in a crucible, and they're dripping gem liquid into this thing, into this almost cast, and stacks of the wood from the summer wood that is being used to carve these masks. So your masks were given to you by the trees themselves, by Old Man Vernon, is that what I named the tree? I think I named the tree
yeah.
Vernon or something like that. Vernon the Old Tree is what the tree was named. You see Quartz that says, "How many you got?"
How many do I have?
You have like 6.
Oh, I've got a couple. I'll pull out 2 masks to start. The other ones I'll keep in my bag for now.
She goes, well, it'll be quite the long queue. You see she kind of like gestures at like sort of like a pile on another table of like masks to work on, basically. She goes, sealing the magic inside the masks is the time consuming part. And it's even worse if I have to craft a new one from scratch. Repairing minor dents, scrapes, and chips is easy enough, but to craft a whole new one, to represent a new face, that's quite different. And you see Suli speaks up and she says, what sort of spell is being weaved into these masks? What makes them so special? And you see the rocking just abruptly stops. And she says, come closer, dearie. Suli takes a trepidatious step closer. And you see she says, oh, look at you. How long has it been? And Suli goes, how long? I don't believe we've had the pleasure. She offers her hand. She goes, I'm Suli. And you see, Suma, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
As you see her hand shoots out, and you're not 100% sure what her intentions will be. But all of a sudden, like your dad sense spikes.
Right.
And at this fast movement, you can decide before knowing what her intentions are, if you want to like do anything with that 14.
Yeah.
This is her rocking.
I definitely feel like whether or not this lady, whether or not I trust her, I don't know yet. But I think with everything that's happened, you know, in the past, I'll assume as baggage. He definitely like does the dad arm, like wait right there.
And then she kind of like, oh, so sorry. I forget how touchy you can be.
What do you mean by that, ma'am?
Protective is all. You have a habit of, you know, kind of getting very antsy with anything happening to your dear beloved daughter. Not that I blame you. Not that I blame you. A parent knows.
Can I make an insight check on this lady?
Sure. Yeah.
Because she's, she's acting like she knows me, and I don't know about that.
On an 18, at the very minimum, this lady is far older than she has any right to be. You have never met Quartza before. You are unsure of what her typical demeanor is. You are not certain of this, but you would not be surprised if this was not the real Quartza.
Mm. And I'll just say, there might be time for us 3 to chat later, but right now I am thoroughly interested in what is going on with these masks. You see, I have some folks waiting outside, and I'm a little concerned for their safety, and I just have a few questions.
Ask away, dearie.
I suppose, first of all, when a mask is broken, how how vulnerable would someone be, and how quickly would they be vulnerable to being influenced by something other than themselves.
Do you see the crystals around here in Gemhaven? You can't have missed them. They're large and beautiful. They're Queen Titania's favorite in the entire Feywild. That's why she comes here to celebrate whenever something big goes her way. She likes looking at pretty things, you see. Likes keeping them in her collection. But being in close proximity to these large, magically potent crystals affects the mind in ways that are difficult to necessarily predict. Most Fae would not be able to be easily mind controlled or swayed or influenced by magics. It's usually us what's doing the influencing. But prolonged exposure to these gems at this size so constantly weakens our abilities. We are not quite as powerful here as we might normally be. At least those of us who have lived here all our lives. And yet, Titania asks us to labor for her benefit, for her vanity. These masks are the only protection from being taken over or influenced. A protection we wouldn't need if we weren't forced to live here. Yes, cracking the mask, damaging the seal, disrupts the magics within, and it renders one vulnerable to any influence and effects from elsewheres. But a being such as you and your daughter need not worry about such a thing. You do not have that vulnerability that the other people in this town do.
It sounds like you aren't quite pleased to be here. It sounds like you would rather be somewhere else. Why are you here then?
Because I've got important work to do. I've got to make sure these masks are good to go.
I don't mean to be rather forward, but I'm a bit of a magical knower of things myself, although it might not sound like it right now. But I have a little bit of arcane knowledge, and I would love to see your work in repairing one of these and see what you do to enchant it. I'm just so curious.
Interesting.
That was really funny. How you descended when you said that. I don't know if it was intentional, but...
She stops rocking, and you see she leans in, and she says, "You and I, we're smart creatures. We both have an idea of what's going on here. So let's not trifle. I wouldn't trust her if I were you. She's killed you before. She's killed you lots of times, actually.
Well, who said anything about trust?
With beings as powerful as Queen Titania, the best way of dealing with them is to not deal with them at all. She's not like anything else you've faced. The highest of high archfays are akin to gods themselves. If she wants something from you, she'll have it. Do you have anything, Sumalai, that you would not be willing to give up? Because I guarantee you, that is what she'll ask for first.
There's only one thing in this life I would not give her.
Then I'd say your goodbyes now. You watch as Quartza shifts, her neck cracking at odd angles, and you watch her beautiful form, old but beautiful form, twist and malform as her true nature, a hag, reveals itself before you. She looks at you. She says, I'm not so vain as to think I could defeat you without the aid of my coven. But I want you to know there is a place for you and yours in King Wungo's court.
Yeah, I thought there might be.
He is set to free this place of Titania's terrible tyranny. Hear him out. And then she snaps her fingers and vanishes. Unless you specifically want to go out of your way and counterspell her.
I'm gonna let her go.
Okay. You see Silly goes, what the hell was that about?
That, my dear, was a hag. And, well, let's just say we're lucky that she left on her own terms. Things could have gotten a little ugly.
You see, Silly goes, I knew something was off, but I don't think I understand exactly what. You see, where the hag was rocking, a single mask has been left there. You look at it, and the face that has been carved looks a lot like Suli, for whatever reason.
I'll pick it up with my mage hand and just sort of turn it over, look at it closer, see if there's anything else about it. But
yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check. On a 20 Arcana check. You examine this thing, you examine the markings upon it, the runes, the incantations. You register that this mask has been converted. The new mask, the repaired mask, no longer protects from mind control or influence. It actually makes one even more vulnerable. And it seems to be attuned to a certain particular kind of influence. Holding the mask close to your face, you smell it again, and you smell what smells like, again, like brackish water, swamp-like.
Mhm.
Perhaps you realize now that perhaps the swamp you were thinking of was Kalsana way back in the Underdark. Sort of a weird, rotting kind of scent. You figure that you piece a couple things together. You imagine that merely breaking the masks was not enough for whatever influence, we're not going to name names, but if a certain King Wungo decided they wanted to use their emperor powers to mind control some denizens of the Feywild, he is perhaps too far away in his home in the swamp in the Unseelie Court to do so without having to put himself at risk. They have to come a bit closer. But when they break and they're being taken to this fake Quartza, they seem to be almost act like beacons for Wungo's control. You were not there to watch this, but you imagine that's sort of what was going on with Pearl's mom earlier, who was very abrupt and kind of brusque for no reason towards Ruby. I would say uncharacteristically, but you don't know her. But yeah, you get that, and I think you were able to sort of gather that from sort of like you were able to, I think, get the magical evidence that you need, like certain like whatever tinctures and like essences and like whatever that like kind of like could prove that to somebody, and you put it in your bag or wherever. Suli goes, so Is that what it's like in the real world? Anybody could just be randomly evil. Have you
Yep.
ever thought somebody was like a person and it turned out to be someone completely different?
Yep.
I bet that's
And
never happened to you multiple
not
times.
only that, but usually, okay, so it not only happens all the time, but 70% of the time it's the same person.
That's crazy.
You will meet him. I don't know when, but it's bound to happen. Everywhere we go, he shows up. Uh, but yeah. So I'm gonna take my mask evidence. I assume I mean I'm no mask maker, so I don't think I can repair these ones that have been broken. So I don't want to crush anyone's hopes and dreams. So I'm gonna leave them in the. And no, I'm not gonna leave them in the hut. I'm gonna put them in my bag and away from where the people can see. I'm gonna exit the hut, and I'm just gonna inform everybody
Ooh.
that the the mask maker was indisposed, but I've left the masks with her, and she will get to them as soon as possible.
They all go, all right, okay. Sounds reasonable to us. You see, they look a little bit spooked. And as you exit out, you realize that all of the grass around the hut has like rotted, has like died and decayed.
Oh dear, that's not good. Just gonna brush
You
that off.
sort of as you guys are talking and you're kind of explaining this, you watch as a conflagration, a burst of flame appears, sort of just like scorching like the kind of cobblestone path a little ways away, and you see a beautiful looking Eladrin man with like pale orange hair. He's wearing kind of like red armor. His eyes are bright and yellow. He radiates light. He walks up to you and he says, Sumalai, Suli, it's good to see you both again.
I just
I,
exchange glances with Suli, like, okay.
you see, Suli goes, hello, and kind of like shakes his hand a little bit. It's hard not to be a little bit enchanted by this Eladrin. He certainly looks like a martial, like a person of power. Like he's wearing armor that's like a little bit like kind of like tiny little flames kind of erupting here and there. He goes, my name is Summer, and I have been sent to summon you, well, the both of you really, to an audience with the Queen. She has finished with her, well, the most exciting part of her revelry, and she wished to see the two people of the hour. Are you currently indisposed, or do you want to finish this up? Or, I mean, I can handle it as well if you like.
We have as it happens, you've come at just the right time. We have just become disposed at your disposal. So
That is wonderful indeed. Wonderful to hear. He
I don't suppose before our audience with the Queen, is the carnival going to officially end before we get to see her? Just
No, not for
wondering.
a while longer. She has agreed to pause her revelry on account of some extenuating circumstances, but she does not wish to end the carnival just yet. So if you have any more prizes you want to buy, you will have the time to do so after your meeting.
All
should
right.
that-
No, there was no reason I'm asking. None, no reason at
Of
all. I
course,
was
of
thoroughly
course.
enjoying myself.
You see, he looks at you, and he says, "By the way, I simply must say, splendid work in that fight against Yeska.
Oh, you saw that. Well,
Yes,
I should
yes.
have known y'all would be looking
Well,
in.
it was gossip I heard from Peace Blossom specifically. So I don't know if they were sort of embellishing, any details. But yeah, I mean, riding in on a dragon and beheading her, classy way to do it."
Ah, you know, I think it was really something else. it was really something else. That nothing like it I've seen. But that's a tale I can tell you once I suppose we've had our
Of
talk with
course,
the
of
queen.
course, of course. And remember, such an audience, a private one at that, is quite rare for most mortals to ever attain. Remember to mind your manners, and whatever favor she has decided to ask of you, just, do your best to grant it.
Understood.
You do owe her, of course. You both do.
Right. Yeah. That's true. I understand.
Does Suman know about the favor?
I think I do.
I'm
It
pretty
was
sure we
meant.
talked about
I do not know why the favor was
Oh, why
necessary.
it was necessary?
Or the circumstances surrounding it, but I believe Ruby and Alok said they owed her a favor.
Okay.
I think we lied, or like Ruby quickly lied, like, oh, we dropped it.
I think
but
you guys were
it was
just like,
probably
oh,
pretty
it was
obvious.
nothing. It was just...
Yeah, it was
And
somewhat
I
silly.
think I decided I didn't want to know. I think I was like, okay,
Okay.
cool. But yeah, I'll just try to, the equivalent of straightening one's tie and go with Sir Summer.
Summer. You guys head off, and we swap back to our Hall of Illusions party. Thank you for being patient. You emerge at another fork in the road. On the left side, you see what appears to be the ceiling of some kind of building. There is stained glass. It's hard to tell what color it is because it's nighttime at the moment. It just reaches towards like a high vaulted ceiling. If you had to guess, it's a chamber of some kind of importance. Could be like a temple. It could be like, I don't know, like a government hall or something like that. You do not see. It's weird. It's like whatever mirror this is probably like it's like on the ground or like lying flat instead of being supported. So you're not getting a sight into the building. You're just seeing kind of like up. But you don't detect any movement. It seems very still where whatever this is. On the other side, you see a sandy dune full of armed soldiers standing pin straight in two lines, shields and lances at the ready. Rain pours down on the desert scene, drenching large clumps of cacti in more water than they've probably ever seen in their cactus lives. Shuffling between these lines of soldiers like a procession of commoners, garbed in like loose-fitting robes and turbans, move toward the mirror. But you know that the mirror is moving. Almost as if it is not something that is stationary, but it is a moving object of some sort. Not like moving a lot, but just sort of shifting slightly now and again. Almost imperceptibly. Which way would you guys like to go?
I point left.
What on the left chamber?
Yeah, with a chamber, it's kind of like mysterious what it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just because I think it's fun. You can surmise that the thing the right side is a polished shield. You are looking out from a polished shield. Though the other soldiers don't seem to have polished shields, they seem to be more weathered and sort of like dented, like they've been doing battle.
What are like the colors of the soldiers? Do we recognize it as any army?
It is strange, not specific. It seems to be people of all walks, all races and sizes, but they seem their discipline, they're like complete, just like, they almost seem a bit inhuman how still they are.
Oh.
Okay. So they're probably not good. We don't see anyone else with them, just the soldiers, no like.
There's commoners that are kind of like walking through the lines that they're guarding, that the commoners are being like shuffled off somewhere for whatever reason.
Oh. Do the commoners look like they move different than the people in the lines?
Like against their will?
Certainly. The commoners look kind of resigned. Not like they're in pain or something like that, but they don't look happy. They don't look like. Give me an insight check, actually.
All right.
Would probably be better.
I believe it's gotta double check again. +1.
Ooh.
Well, 18's better.
Okay. Ruby, I think what you get on a 22, these people have the air of folks who are doing something because they have to. Not because they're literally being forced to, but they're doing something out of necessity. It is a sort of doomed man's walk. Of like, just like, not like there's a gun to their heads, but like, they're like, okay, this is what has to happen. Alok, what you can, from your insight check, I'm going to use something else here. The guard who is holding the shield you were looking out through seems to not have the same disposition as the other ones that are kind of like watching the line. You get the sense that this person may still have their wits about them, whereas the other soldiers seem more robotic.
What do we think, guys? Do we think they're like, are they? Do we think they're under the control of the Wraith, or maybe someone else is controlling them to fight the Wraith? You know, it's kind of like a weird, shady area.
I pull my finger back from the left side.
I'm not sure anymore. The chamber is interesting, but the right side, we don't need to like necessarily save those people.
Well, the last time the Red Wraith controlled people, they had like that thing on their chest, right?
Oh yeah, they had like a little glowing red symbol or something.
Yeah, well, I guess we can't really tell if they're all like covered up.
Of the few people who like happen to have their chest exposed, it's raining, but like I guess some of them just roll that way. None of them seems to have it yet. You assume that all the soldiers do. I would say Ruby, actually, on a 22 insight, having brought up that concept yourselves, I think, Ruby, you gather that these people are probably on the way to get one of those tattoos.
Ooh.
Like, putting together like the way they're walking, the situation they're in, they're like, I think that they're gonna get these marks as a form of protection, in the sense of you're either with the Red Wraith or you're the enemy.
But they seem like mind controlled, right? Like we got that from, or no?
He can't mind control you if you don't have the mark. They're just being coerced in a different way.
So I doubt we can talk them out of it because our talker can't talk, so we probably can't do that. If we go there, it's probably just a fight, right? But there is always the chance that the guy that's holding the shield is maybe someone we could convince and be like, hey, we're working on it. You don't need to join him. But again, we can't really do the talking. So I don't know. I'm thinking I don't think there's a lot we can do with the soldiers, honestly. There's just we also just have no idea what the chamber is. Like, that could be anything.
It could be anything. Yeah. It could even be more soldiers.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be the building right next to where the soldiers are. We have no idea.
Yeah, just where they're going.
That's cruel. It'd be like an Ivory Vault situation.
It's like you're watching security cameras and you watch one person walk by this way and they appear on the other one after a few seconds.
Yeah. That would be... That's funny. We also have to remember that like there may not have been maybe no other reflections we can go through. I mean, there probably has to be, but like it might not be easy to find it. based on the description we heard. And the chamber, I feel like, is more likely to have another mirror that we could just quickly get to.
I point towards the right one.
Should we also discuss maybe like
What is-
why the hell the Kenku are sending us through mirrors to people like places that actually might be useful to us?
Hmm.
You get the sense that they're trying to kill you. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it hurts. It hurts to be in this mirror dimension. You guys just happened to have the one guy who can sense out where these portals are and escape to another one, and you happen to pick first the person who could tell you you need to go to one of these other mirrors. If you picked Ada at the beginning, learning that would have been a different process, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
But you picked the person who could explain to you calmly, hey, this is what you need to do, and you can use your amulet, and you happen to have that. But like anybody else following this Kenku in would have died. Like their soul would have broken apart traveling through these dimensions.
Okay.
If Alok wasn't with us, we'd be screwed.
What's up?
If Alok wasn't with us, we'd be screwed.
Oh yeah.
A little bit. You'd have to sort of like trial and error find where a mirror happens to be. So it's still possible. But definitely like Alok, your amulet can definitely sniff things out from these portals. I mean, that's what Terminus is all about. Like you can kind of sense what lies beyond. Would you like to try and do that?
Yeah, probably. I think probably the chamber one. I want to try to suss that out.
It hums with a sort of comfort and peace, as if it thinks you'll be safe there.
This is what these feel like. There's such a 50-50. It feels like with most of these. I do think that the right one, we maybe... I think the right one's gonna be too hard if we can't talk to them. So... I don't know. My vote's the chamber. Gallet looks like he wants to do the...
He wants to
army.
fight.
So what do you
I
think?
will say, you could technically just throw something through.
I guess we
briefly.
also could just jump back into the shield, right?
Unless they move it. Something.
Yeah. What's your vote? Which one do you think is better?
I don't know why. I just keep wanting to pick the one that seems dangerous.
Okay.
That does
So-
sound like Ruby.
We already party member down. but-
So, yeah, I think Ruby would be like, you could take the soldiers, but I also don't know what we would do. Well, we don't know what we would do in the chamber either, because we have no clue what's in the chamber. And then the soldiers, it's like, are we trying to help the people, or are we going to fight?
That's the hard thing. Like the
Run
soldier
away?
one seems nice if we know what the hell we could even do there. But like we have no idea if we could help them because it seems like they kind of want to do this. And could we really talk
Right.
them out of it by saying, "Hey, we're in another dimension trying to fix it. We also could be another like a year late." Like it's a hard sell. Without like, it's probably gonna result in us fighting them. We also don't know who's holding the shield because like, what if it's like Gwen or something? Like, what if it's like crazy? It's like, oh, I mean, he's a wizard, but like maybe, you know, that would suck. But maybe it's someone. I mean, do we know anyone like that has like a shield that's like, kind of important to them? Like,
Not
I have shield.
particularly, I don't think. Other than Ruby, literally.
Yeah, I don't think we really know. But like, shield of Celestia guys, it's enemy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Celestia.
I wonder how Gallet's doing.
True. That took me a second.
He's hit his 8th growth spurt by now.
Maybe it is.
Oh my goodness.
When we look through the shield, are we like at a weird height for someone holding a shield? Are we just like way above them?
You feel like they're definitely holding it like this. Maybe like a slightly, definitely taller than average person.
The
Like a-
soldier, are we looking at the
formidable-
soldier backs?
You're looking at their front, so the shield is being held like this. The front of it is reflective.
So they're turned backwards, looking at the soldiers walking at them.
The soldiers are not walking. The soldiers are watching the commoners walk.
Oh, okay.
The soldiers are like, imagine like a group of people being like walking through a line, and there's guards on either side making sure they don't run.
I see. Okay. Wait, sorry. So I might have been a little confused. So you were saying that the commoners, like the people walking, they're the ones that aren't like, they don't seem mind controlled. They seem like they're kind of
Yeah.
Have to.
Some of them actually seem happy.
When we were talking about the soldiers, do the soldiers seem mind controlled, like on their side?
Soldiers definitely seem mind controlled.
Okay, that's why I was confused. Okay.
They are being coerced into also doing it.
Yeah, they're kind of.
So we could save.
Yeah.
So
it's
even
like they're
if
signing up.
But if we save them now, like, what can we do for them in a couple months when we're not there? Like, what can we do?
I think you could help. I just don't know how do you even. How would it free the? How did we free Suma's dad again?
Well, do we
Suma's
know if we can
dad?
help the soldiers? Because I think last
You have to
time...
fight like a hate demon.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, you have to
there's
fight
only,
a guy in a
one
top
big
hat.
Thing. The top hat.
With
Yeah.
an ominous top hat. That's very important.
I don't
to
want
the
to play
scene.
another stick figure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why did he have a top hat again?
Because Ryan drew one.
Did I just throw it down there? Was it? It wasn't described that way. I just did it. That's good.
Yeah, I think we didn't have like. I think I didn't plan for the battle to go that way. So I didn't have a token for like ominous cursed demon being released or something like that, and so I didn't have a token, and so we just. I think he drew one in paint. Like he sent it really fast.
It needed a top hat.
Is it from my memory?
really beautiful.
I don't
Now
know,
it's
guys.
the
We're
other
kind of
top.
like we're in analysis paralysis. We're indecisive. I don't know. My vote's still
I mean,
the chamber because I don't know.
I think Ruby would want to do the soldiers. So
Okay.
All right, so
I mean,
that's
I
two
don't-
for the soldiers, one for the chamber.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we start dying, I'm running. You guys can die.
I
I don't know how well we can fight soldiers.
Okay. You all jump through the mirror. Well, actually, how do you want to enter? Do you want to like poke ahead first? Do you want to like just go through? Like, how do you want to handle this?
Do a
Basically?
backflip.
What if you poked the hammer that we just got?
Actually, can we just like poke our head through and like get like a better look around, see how many soldiers there are in total, just really quickly? I mean, obviously they're gonna see us do it, but like,
You see dozens from this vantage.
jeez,
Ooh,
guys,
dozens.
What are we gonna do about dozens of soldiers? It's gonna be us just like running, like we can't do anything.
Yeah, action economy would be screwed.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Well,
Are we changing
so question.
the road?
But we don't even know if they're gonna
If-
attack us.
If so Alok looks through with his head and then pops back in, right?
Hmm.
And it wasn't sucking him in or anything, right?
Yeah, he can do that. He'll be seen.
Yeah, we haven't done it yet. He's saying that we see dozens right now.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nah.
I mean, do you guys still want
Not being able to talk sucks.
Can freely drop it whenever he wants.
I don't-
Yeah, but it's HP.
We
It is
also
HP.
don't know. Like, maybe we jump through and the soldiers, like, they're mind controlled. Maybe they're not, like, ordered just attack. Maybe they'll just see us and be like, you're weird. This is kind of weird, guys. What are you doing here? And I'll be like,
Okay,
"Oh,
screw it. Okay, I'm going to undo the giant ape because this sucks, but I feel strongly about it. Hey guys, poof, hey.
hey,
Um,
welcome back.
No.
So, this sucks. I hate all of this. I feel bad if we skip them. So, here's my plan.
God,
A
okay.
potential plan. Alright, so hear me out. So, we can do stuff through the mirror.
Okay.
So, and the guy that carries the mirror seems to be like level-headed,
Oh.
like he's not insane. So what if he gets a really good vantage point with the mirror and Alok just starts shooting arrows?
Oh, I have shatter stones too.
Exactly. We can get rid of them with no damage.
Let's.
I
So,
did give
we-
you those, huh?
So when I
Huh.
when I asked about the soldiers, I asked if like
Mhm,
there was like
mhm,
any like noticeable colors or regalia. You said there wasn't any, so like they're kind of like just a group of people that were put together probably by the Red Wraith.
Yes.
Do we have a sense that like maybe like because we saved the other soldiers, right? So like maybe these people could be saved in the future and maybe don't need to be killed right now. Is that the kind of sense that we get from
You
that, or-
you imagine that once you guys defeat the Red Wraith, anybody who is not in his control, or sorry, everybody who was in his control would
Just free.
no longer be. So you could free them all at once you beat the big bad at the end.
That's my thing, guys. I don't really want to kill these people because they could be saved later. We don't really
Yeah,
know
so
this.
like these people, I mean, there's a good possibility that these are not the exact soldiers you will fight later once you fight the Red Wraith. You imagine on some level, these people will be fighting others. Like, you know that there's a resistance movement. You know, probably there's one in, this is Terai. I mean, I don't know if I made that obvious for the desert
Yes.
part, but this is in Terai. It's in the desert. If there's a resistance movement there, like that's who's gonna be fighting these soldiers. If you kill them now, those people will have a better time, perhaps. But then at the end of it, they will not be freed. It's up to you.
No matter what, people are going to die.
This
If we-
action will have consequences. Is
Yeah.
all I have to say.
I think it's important enough to try. If we don't help them, they'll all go become,
Yeah.
those types, and then they will fight the people that resist.
I think.
But if we get rid of these guys now, then they'll be dead.
I mean.
But
we
people
also-
will die no matter what.
Maybe if we can pull it off, if we can, knock them out instead of killing them, then in that case, sure, they're a problem later, but at least the people getting like walked down the line, they aren't going to be a problem later. So we can at least prevent that without killing people, right?
What?
The commoners that are walking down the line, if we can
Yeah.
prevent them from having to walk down the line by taking out the soldiers, that's still a success. But
Yeah, I
think we
just
need-
don't
we
know how
need
to take out. I don't know how to take out the surface soldiers without killing them.
Well,
Right.
maybe without the
That'll be
explosive
hard.
stones. I feel like the explosive stones make that kind of hard. Yeah.
Mm,
Interesting.
I don't know.
A conundrum. I'm gonna be so real with you. I thought there was no chance in hell you guys would do anything with this path, but I stand corrected.
It's the resistance. You have to help them out. Maybe okay. So fighting it ain't gonna work well. But let's think about it like this. So this guy in the shield is probably on the level. He's probably okay. That means you can blend in. Is there a way we can fake it? Where we can fake
Pop out of the
them
shield
being...
normally.
What?
Pop out of the shield normally. Maybe we can pretend that we're normally popping out of the shield and not weird.
Well, no, I'm just talking about that they can pretend to be on their side. Like, is there a way we can influence them getting the mark?
Oh, I see. The soldiers, like with the shield.
Well, not the soldiers, but the people in the line. The people that are already under his influence are already under it. But the people in the line are going to get it. So I was wondering if there's a way we could sort of screw with that process.
Dude, I don't know. Look, I still stand by. I think the chambers is better. It's safer. I don't think there's actually anything we can do on the right side without just slaughtering people. And we also don't even know if we can get away with slaughtering those people. Because if you want to use the explosive stones to, get rid of the soldiers, well, it's explosives, and there's commoners nearby, or like the people we want to save nearby. So I don't know how you're gonna pull that off either. I think we just need to make a decision, but.
Any thoughts, Ruby?
Um,
We need Suma. Can I call Sumo?
Like,
Sumo would know what to do.
Sumo. All our lives rest on your decision.
Does
I
the
don't
stone,
know. Do you call me?
Yeah, does the stone work? Can I do that? Can I just?
If you're
Sumo?
still in the Hall of Illusions, yeah, I'm gonna say that works. If you had already passed through, it would be a roll.
Okay. Hey Sumo, you there? Hello.
Pardon me, Summer. Just one moment. I'll keep walking and talking. Plowstone, Alok, where are you all?
Yeah. So we talked to some lady. You probably like her. She was cool. And then we went to. It's like, oh, where did we go after that?
You went to the claw.
That's right. We were at. That's right. Yeah, we went to the
Without
claw.
me?
Yeah, we saw a family. We kind of.
I can't believe you went to the claw without me. That's just
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm sorry. Does that count? Oh man, maybe we didn't beat the island quota. Anyways, we gave some families nightmares. Their kids are not going to grow up normal anymore. I guess they probably went in the claw anyways.
All right, that
They'll
sounds
have a
about
strange
right.
fear of gorillas.
Yeah, that's good. You're gonna remember
They probably
that.
have never seen a gorilla. It's not exactly
It's actually not a
tropical.
big one. So yeah, so now we're at another choice to make. It's a fifth, there's two options. And I explain all the options. Wait.
Well, I know you're gonna say that I picked the boring option, but I kind of want you guys to come back because I'm going to see the queen and I'm a little nervous. So, and I don't want to. I don't
What?
want you to get yourselves hurt. That sounds like a lot of soldiers.
We should speed up then.
I mean, do what you want, but I worry about you. In there. I mean, those Kenku are trying to kill you. This is gonna kill you, if anything.
Do you know, like, do you think there's anything we could do to help the soldiers or the people? Like, do you have any way in on that, or?
Well, what I'm worried about is that even though the person with the shield might not be mind controlled, I mean, maybe they're giving the commoners to this person to brand them. Like, I mean, Gawain kind of has free will a little bit. Like, it might not be. You just don't know until you get in
Yeah.
there, but
Not a robotic drone, but like.
yeah.
Still.
I mean, I don't know.
things.
I know you all really want to help people, but I think the best way that you can help people in the long run is for us to get the hell out of the Feywild and go start, saving the world. But that's just me.
It's
I'm no longer a big
Rattata.
monkey for this. No, let's go. Suma's in trouble.
I mean, hopefully I'm not in trouble. I mean, I don't know, but
Suma's in trouble. We're
We
I'm
going
got
scared.
in trouble.
Queen Titania is really scary.
All right, let's hop through the chamber then. We're all.
Okay. If we are at a consensus, you hop through. For the record, I expect you to take the chamber. It doesn't mean that on a meta level you can't do the soldiers. I know you know me well enough to know that you can do it
Yeah.
if you
I
want
know.
to.
I know.
Yeah.
I think we
It will
got
lead to
enough
things.
information.
It will
to
lead to
look into it.
things, but okay. You enter in through the mirror on the left, and you emerge atop an altar. Actually, let me change the playlist really fast. You emerge atop an altar filled with various items seemingly given as some kind of tribute along with the mirror, which is sort of just like an ornate golden mirror that has been kind of laid down on this altar. Next to it is a basket of half-ripened fruit, a block of ice half melted, and you see the altar sits before an archway, at the top of which an image has been carved on a large stone plate. Ruby and Gallet, you recognize the figure depicted here, partly because of the gray hair and partly because of the amulet around his neck. Alok, you recognize that you are looking at a picture of yourself. inscribed in the stone. As you guys look up at this thing, you hear a voice behind you. As Master Telmor predicted, he has come! Our savior, Alok, has come! Alok, as you turn, you dance, as your name has been
Oh, yeah.
spoken. And you see
What?
a crowd of robed figures kneel before you, cheering and bowing in turn. After a year and a half, our savior is here! And slowly,
Hey, look!
a
Hey,
chant starts, and you hear your name.
I'm just doing 5 dance moves at once. It's
Hey,
horrible. Start breakdancing.
And you see the savior dances, but what does it mean? The savior, should we also dance?
It
And he
means
also,
don't say my name anymore.
the
a
savior
sign.
speaks. Dance, but do not speak his
You
name.
don't need to dance.
Of course. Of course.
That's just
And you
pretty
see
good.
a
your
little,
followers on the jam.
a
There
little
is no
altar
shit.
boy in a little like oversized robe walks up to you and he goes, "Please, master, many have died already. The balance has been destroyed. What should we, your faithful, do to aid you?"
That's a lot to take in here.
Chosen one, we await your answer.
Playing into it is so funny.
Okay, I guess Alok would, be a little hesitant. Just say, I've been gone for a while and I've been out of the loop. Can you catch me up on what's going on?
Well, the Red Wraith has taken over all of Ela. With each passing week, the storm grows and grows. Already, it has spread from its center in Laki and stretched out all as far south as parts of Terai. Soon, Pelea will be consumed as well by the rain, and then Edelheim, and all the way to the Far Isles. We are truly, deeply
Uh-oh.
in despair. We're scared. Crops aren't growing anymore because it's too dark with the clouds. It's too much rain for them to survive. Food is scarce. Hope even scarcer. But not for your followers.
Okay. And why do you follow me and not Terminus?
You are the chosen one.
But does
You
I?
are the bearer of the amulet. Master Telmor said that though you had disappeared after the Battle of Ravenhall, that one day you would return and save Ela, restore balance, and end the storm at the cost of your own life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So brave. We thank you deeply for your sacrifice in
You're
advance.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, you're thinking me a little early, it hasn't happened yet. Does that really warrant you guys following me and not Terminus? Because, I understand, I appreciate you guys being appreciative of what we intend on doing, but ultimately, I would recommend, as the person you guys are following, to more so worship Terminus, unless he's not been responsive as of late.
He hasn't been responsive at all. We think because the balance has been disrupted so severely, his presence here is limited. But yours is not, Savior.
What did I miss?
Alok is Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot to handle.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if
Alok
Alok
is
has
allegedly
the heart.
Jesus.
Alok doesn't have the heart to break their hope. But man, that's an awkward position. Okay. I understand. Is Telembor, or I think it's Telembor, right?
Telmore?
Telmor, yeah. Is Telmor around at all? Have you seen him? Where's he been?
Well, he's been traveling around. Some say that he has some sort of influence within the Green Flash. Actually, I'm gonna change that. The Green Lighters. That's a cooler name.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Green Lanterns.
green lighter lantern?
Lighters, the Green Lighters.
What is that? What are they talking about?
They are a resistance group that I think Tracker told you to seek out before you guys enter the tournament, I think. Or something like, or maybe before the final battle, she said that. Because you're not the only people fighting against the Red Wraith. By that point, other people have kind of like realized some bad shit's going down and are kind of banding together. And according to Tiny Tim over here, it would seem that they're sort of, actually Tiny Tim just says that, but I'm not sure if you're aware of the Green Lighters. They're sort of, well, travel is difficult these days, but they are one of the few organizations left in Ila, that we know of anyway, to have in their ranks clerics of Priscilla.
Okay. Just so you guys know, and you know, are more properly doing this whole thing, I am not necessarily a deific entity that you should be worshipping, but I do plan on trying to save the world with my friends who also deserve just as much notice.
Our Holy Lord speaks so highly of himself.
He's so humble.
Stop. Also, until next time you see me, you can't say my name.
You do not say your name.
Until next time you see me, it's part of the prophecy you guys don't know about. It's the other half.
He shall return again.
The milkman.
The milkman
Milkman
always
coming.
comes on time.
That's actually changed. I don't know if you remember a year and a half ago. It may also spread that it's the Phantom. I think we changed it.
The Phantom.
Or maybe no.
Of course.
Never mind. Don't spread that one. I think that one was the illegal.
Yes,
one.
The Phantom.
Okay.
The Phantom Milkman, Savior.
Phantom Milkman. He coming.
Quick, print the T-shirts.
Don't put it on the statue.
Put it on the mugs.
Maybe if you're here to keep the statue up, make one of everyone else too. And Suma's not here, so maybe you forgot who Suma is. Just at least the three of us.
Okay, so
It's gonna sell
of-
less.
Okay,
But
right.
that's if you're gonna do statues at all. I would prefer no statues, but maybe they.
Oh, we're doing statues. We're doing
Okay,
statues.
that's fair.
The East Courtyard is
Non-negotiable.
it looks very empty. This is a little boy. I don't know why he's in
I
charge.
guess you guys don't have
of the
much
whole operation
going on.
here, but he is in charge of the whole operation.
Yeah, he's man, he's
He
prodigy.
ran the biggest ALOC fan account on Twitter before the show went
he's
down.
kind of a cold.
So he's been elevated.
Grand Priest Child, I have a question.
Yes, of course.
Why is there a
Master's
melting
friend.
ice cube? Why is there a melting ice cube as an offering?
It represents a state of transition from one phase of matter to another.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. And the cheese is curdling. Yes, I get
Yes,
it.
transitions. It's like a whole thing.
You guys are running out
Wow.
of food though. Maybe we don't do that one. Maybe you guys eat that
Yeah.
one. I think we can do the ice though. That's fine.
But you do appreciate it, right?
I appreciate it. In fact, I appreciate it so much. What you've done.
You'll
up to this
eat
point,
some,
I'm not-
right?
Well,
He's
You're
so
gonna eat
kind
for the
and
cheese.
sweet. I can't look at him. His radiance.
just be smart. Just live. Don't do anything extra. Just we'll be back and we'll help. We're
You
working
see
on it.
behind you, people are taking notes. Be smart. Just live. Don't say his name. He will return.
Add
The
in
commandments.
YOLO.
YOLO.
That's a good one.
Is that what is that? Is that Sylvan? Is that some sort of
Uh,
celestial speak? Was this a
I will keep it vague and not respond, so that way people will interpret it and make horrible rules in the future based on the vagueness. So go ahead and do that. Just keep it
Oh.
vague. Yeah.
perhaps the real YOLO is each interpretation of the word YOLO.
Mm-hmm.
It can mean anything.
That can't go wrong. Yeah.
Like fan
Master.
fiction.
I YOLO you.
Mm.
And he bows.
Whatever it means to you, that's all that matters. Does anyone have a mirror? Does anyone here got a mirror?
Oh, yes, I have one.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank
It's out of his
you.
pocket.
Okay, we'll see you in like sometime. We don't know how long.
Yo, so YOLO with you. That's so
YOLO
good.
with
YOLO
you.
to you all. I hope that we're gonna come back. And that's gonna be a thing. That's gonna suck.
It's gonna be awful. Canon. Okay, great.
Anyone have any questions to ask
you...
before we hop through? You two.
Oh yes, yes. Master's
Oh,
friends can also
Message
talk if
ones,
they want.
yes. Man, everything.
What's he like? Like, what's he really like? You know,
Okay,
when he's
Oh
not
my
been seeing
god,
him
you
up.
don't even
Let's-
know.
I think you need to
He
clarify.
loves-
I am not someone you guys need to be.
He's in a
revealing this.
relationship.
Is he really?
It's just not true.
Yes.
That's just
Yeah.
Wow. He's married. There's a child
not
on the
yet.
way.
No one's.
No,
doing
no,
that.
And
they're
he's
in a,
going to sacrifice himself for our.
they're in a transitional phase. YOLO.
Well, to be fair, you can
If
say
you
someone's in a
will.
relationship. It'd be a friendly relationship, so it's not.
You have a
total
friendly
lie.
relationship, yeah, yeah. A business relationship, even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's other. It's just it gets interpreted.
He's up.
You see, the kid goes, "Is it you?" To you, Ruby.
Well, okay.
We're friends.
You haven't been talking. You seem shy.
I'm just gonna like nod and like hide behind my.
Make her
my God.
statue the
Oh,
biggest in
no.
the front. She would love that.
I so get it, girl.
I'm avoiding entering the conversation because if I do, I have to compliment everybody.
Oh, true. I
True.
completely forgot.
I'm just like,
I forgot.
just
Oh my
like-
god.
No crowd, I can't lie.
Oh wait, that would have been horrible to go to the soldiers if we couldn't lie. Who knows if we did try to talk? Man,
oh yeah.
that
true.
changes a lot.
Okay, Alok, you are given a
The
new mirror.
Yeah. All right. Final words. Don't worship too much. Worship them as much. See ya and YOLO.
Hey, Alok.
You hear whispers. Balance.
Alok, I just realized something. I'm not gonna be. I don't gonna be the Pirate King anymore. It already happened. The meetup, everything.
Ooh, yeah,
That's who's the Pirate King? Anyone know?
Do you say that in earshot of Tiny Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no one's the Pirate King currently.
How do you know this?
Ooh.
Where
I'm
you
Tiny
get-
fucking Tim.
My bad. Nope.
I have 500,000 followers. I'm just kidding. You see, Tiny Tim goes, well, the Greenlighters keep all of us sort of fringe resistance movements appraised of the goings on. They're pretty much our only ways that are non-magical of hearing news from elsewhere on Ela. The last time Ela faced an existential threat, or one of the times in the past, when the Claw invaded, it was the pirates banding together under the leadership of one king in order to repel it. However, one of their weird piratey bylaws, apparently, is that you can't vote on Pirate King unless all the representatives are present.
Oh.
And no one's even seen the Reaper in a year and a half.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Well,
Yeah.
we know why. We have it in the bottle, don't we?
Well, yeah. Kinda, yeah. It's in the bottle. We might
Some
as well
of us
go.
wonder if there will ever be a Pirate King crowned, and what they might be like. But of
I bet-
course, it'll probably never happen now.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
Ooh,
it could
maybe if
be.
you make the statues, if there's like engravings, you can put like Pirate King under Galaxy.
Oh, on yours as well. You would
no,
also
not
want
mine.
to be the
I
king.
am not very specifically not a pirate. Actually, everyone else.
Oh,
is
you're not a pirate.
not a pirate. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The milkman. The Phantom Milkman.
The milkman. People whisper, the milkman. It echoes in
The
fucking
milkman
cathedral.
only
And
know
the
Colonel.
acoustics.
No other word is echoed. That's so weird. Alright, I think we have to. I'm uncomfortable.
The milkman. All right. So You guys pass through the fucking mirror after
And
getting
so
that
it
last bit of
did
information
begin.
out. And you emerge at last to one final mirror. You see through it a large swamp. You see in the center of a huge pond, you see this mirror stretches out in front of you like a fucking IMAX screen. It is vast. And you see it leads to a figure which sits atop a massive lily pad. A huge, rotund, pustulant frog with large, beady eyes, and unlike Ophelia, a fully grown crown of bumps protruding from his head. You see kind of like reverberations of power and authority are like kind of emanating out from this crown. And King Wungo almost peers through the mirror at you, and you hear, well, well, well. You guys really came all this way just to meet Wungo. Don't worry. You came here for your tickets. They can be returned to you as you please. My boys will even do you the courtesy of an apology. But you gotta promise to play nice, to have a little conversation with Uncle Wungo. Can you do that for me?
Insight check.
Is this the only mirror? There's only one.
There's only one now.
Mm.
This is where the Kenku went. This is why they went to the Hall of Illusions. To return to their king. Gallet, under 14, I want to say you are, and I mean this in the most complimentary way, you are a bit of a charlatan.
Hello.
You like, playing tricks on people in some way. Most of them harmless, but, earlier today, you convinced somebody they had amnesia because a ladder fell on their head. And
True.
some technicalities of a truth-telling thing. So when somebody is not lying, but they definitely, whatever you do is going to be in their interest. But they're also not lying to you. They're
They're just not telling
genuinely,
the whole story.
yeah, they're generally offering to not attack you, to have the Kenku brothers apologize, to return the tickets to you, to just have a conversation. But you get the sense that he thinks that conversation is going to be very beneficial for him.
Hey guys. I do a little 1 second, and I huddle with the others. Is there any way we can stop mind control? Just wondering. Do we have any? I have the ring that's like you can't read my thoughts, but
Yeah, we both have that. I would assume that our best chance at anything like that, probably Suba. So, and
yeah,
I don't know
he's
what
not
sense he would
here.
do anything like that. So I can't do
This
anything.
I have
This is
remove curse, but that only works if they've already been.
And if it's a curse.
I don't even know if that's.
Yeah,
And if
you,
it's a curse,
I mean,
yeah.
dispel magic might do that, but I don't know if we.
can you call Suma just in case this doesn't work out well for us and he has to save
Speakerphone.
us?
Suma.
You call
Yeah.
Suma. However, Suma does not hear this.
Oh, dum.
Suma,
Picking up.
Oh boy.
you stand. You have been led to a lush garden littered with beautiful, pristine, amethyst-colored flowers. Along the borders of this area, trees with bright lilac leaves flourish and sway in a gentle, easy breeze. Summer leads you up a narrow walkway bordered by this strange fence of like elegant brass and gold and these intricate patterns inlaid with jewels harvested here locally in Gemhaven. He leads you up and you see there are 3 other knights who are standing at attention, sort of guarding this place. chancing a guess, you would assume their names are Autumn, Spring, and Winter. There is, in the center of this little grove, a massive pool of water which seems to froth with a strange fog, and motes of light kind of like dance up and glitter in it. There are 4 seats centered around this, as if inviting whoever's here to come in and observe the spectacle at different angles. And standing before you, waiting to receive you, is the single most beautiful thing you have ever seen. Her radiance is such that she's almost difficult to look at. A beauty that is shifting and formless and defined all at once. She is everything you have ever found beautiful in another person, rolled into one, almost as if she has no true shape, but that which you deem most appealing. From a certain angle, she looks a lot like Zisha. From a different angle, she looks a bit like Erin Kalen. She is garbed in a lush green gown and massive, resplendent, multicolored butterfly wings extend out from her back. She holds herself with a poise and a grace, floating above it all. And she opens her hands wide and she says,
Oh, Sumalai, Suli, it has been so long since last we have spoken. Please, come into the grove. You are my honored guests. And of course,
she flickers her hand and you feel Nikolai's pats just wash off you
Yeah.
like nothing.
Oh my god.
The southern accent,
I
the
was so
drawl
worried I was
leaves your
gonna have to do
lips.
this all voice.
Yeah, I thought about that. Don't worry. Suli's flower lifts up from the top of her head, and you see, as it suddenly blooms, it looks exactly like the flowers that are there in this place. I'm actually just going to take you guys to this map because I think it looks kind of pretty.
Ooh.
Oh, none of you can see
I can.
because you're not here,
I
really.
can see it.
I think we can see. Yeah,
Okay.
there's no walls or anything.
Oh, great. Perfect. Titania stands before you and just kind of escorts you in, and she says,
oh, it looks like one of your friends is contacting you. You can receive that message a little bit late.
As you
I would like to
wish.
show you something, Sumalai.
Please.
she places a hand on your shoulder and kind of guides you. She's massive, by the way. She is easily over 10 feet tall. She's more of a godlike being than a person you are walking with. As she guides you along, you feel a warmth spread through your body, the warmth of summer, as her presence itself is warping your mood and your physiological properties. She guides you over to a strange stone-looking structure, and you watch as Suli is being sort of occupied, not in any hostile way, but is making kind of idle chit-chat with the knights who are kind of telling her about the place. Titania gestures to this stone structure. She says,
Do you know what this is, Sumalai?
I assume I don't know anything about it.
you look a little bit closer, and it's strange, but there's a sword lying on top of this structure. It is yours.
Mm.
And you
I
recognize
look
it for
at my
what you
hip
think
to check if my sword is still there.
it's still there. But looking at it, you get the sense that what this might be is a tomb.
I don't know if I want to know, but perhaps you will tell me more.
Your friends have entered into a pact with me. My pacts are unbreakable. I am owed a favor, and I will have it. And I request that the magic of the Elder Blood remain here in the Feywild, where it belongs. Your daughter, her powers will return in full very soon. And when it does, if you descend back to that hellscape you call home, well, all that will happen is what has happened time and time again. Do you see how many flowers litter this garden? Each of those represents a version of your daughter who has come here and died down there. Do you want to know why she does?
I just I don't say anything, but I continue to listen.
Every time I make this offer, no matter how sweetly I put it, no matter how generous I am with my terms, you always resist. You fight for her freedom. In vain. You die. And you are entombed right over there, your sword laid out on top of it. For some reason, through means that I myself do not understand, your daughter soon finds a way to escape the Feywild and return back to Ela, where she meets the same end she always does: capture and exploitation by the Red Wraith. It's not pretty, you know, what he does to her. He wrings her dry. We don't want that, do we?
I think that like even though she is sort of like radiating this like very warm and comforting aura, I feel like there's a very like the strength of what is Suma's feeling right now like burns still through that a little bit in almost like a little aura around him.
There it is again. I'll tell you what'll happen if she stays. She will never, ever experience an emotion other than pure joy ever again. She will dance here in this garden, and instead of that dance releasing the energies that the Red Wraith uses to destroy your world, it floods the Feywild with life and light, and fills her with ecstatic joy. Wouldn't you want that for your daughter? To never have the no pain ever again? If you choose to let her go, if we're not forced to kill you, that joy will be unbroken. It appears that understanding her father is dead seems to dispel somewhat of the charms of this place. She finds a way to rebel and escape. For once, Sumulai, do the right thing. Don't make me kill you again. It's a dreadful business.
You know, it's interesting because I've seen that future in Yeska's little contraptions. I've seen excerpts, previews of it. But the thing is that this cycle, it's different. You must know that by now. It's not like any that have come before.
And it can remain that way if you choose to stay. I am a fair queen. I'll give you the opportunity to choose. I will not make you leave. I wouldn't do such a thing. But choices come with consequences. And the choice of disobeying me is death.
You know, given the amount of times I seem to have died, this is quite foolish of me to say, perhaps, but in some manner, you remind me of Yeska. You don't want Suli because you care for her. You don't need her. You wouldn't look at her twice if it weren't for the power that runs through her veins that she never asked for, that I never asked for. But I admit that I owe you a favor, given that you were the one that enabled her to be freed. But I didn't come all that way to free her just so that she could go into another cage. And so, I ask you, in all of your power, and I can tell it is vast, that power, is there no way for you to take that power from her and, I don't know, find another vessel, find something else to do with it, let her go and take what you want, what you really want?
You have insulted the Queen of the Summer Court. To have likened me to a mortal, to one such as Yeska Yashiro. I had hoped that you would be more reasonable this time. But my, what fools these mortals be. Summer, winter, autumn, spring. One more time, for good measure.
Shima, Titania's 4 knights begin to advance upon you. As Suli looks around in utter confusion and fear, she has not heard a word of that conversation. She has sensed its dire turn as it has impacted the air around you. The soldiers advance. As of right now, does a person owing a favor come by themselves? There isn't anything you can offer to Tanya at the moment to change her mind. Suppose at this point or another, you draw your sword and ready yourself for battle.
I think I don't, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's even spicier, actually.
Yeah, I think I don't draw it. I don't like move to defend myself. I just look at her and Suma's a stubborn guy. And
Sure is.
I think he just looks at her and he says, as like everyone is approaching, and I think he says it like loud enough that Suli can hear, not like, to her, but he says, "Kill me if you must. But every other time you have done this, the world falls apart. But this time, if it falls apart, it will do so for the final time. I would hope that for everyone's sake that you really would want this time to be different, to find another way. I would give you anything you asked of me. Anything. Except I cannot let you keep her. That is the only thing I will not give.
You are immortal. It is not your place to let me do anything. Make it fast.
She turns away. We cut back to the Hall of Illusions. Suma, the one person you were hoping would be around to give you guidance, is for whatever reason not responding. Perhaps he's busy. He is, after all, meeting a queen. He's probably at a banquet or something. What do you three do? Are you ready to step forward and meet the king? See the parallels?
Does Suma have the bag of holding? I don't remember who got that.
I don't think so.
You guys do.
I don't think I have my bag of holding.
I think. Wait, don't wait.
You took it back. You stole it back. For
I
sure.
know we stole it back.
You know, but
who
no,
stole it
but
back?
no.
'Cause I thought
Oh,
Suma
but
stole
no,
it back.
I do have it. I do have
Yeah.
it because I took it from the Kenku.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
right.
think
Suma
I don't
had
usually
it,
have it,
no.
but I do now. Sorry.
That's fine. That is
Forgot about that.
confusing. Unfortunate. I mean, her. Okay.
Well-
just keep in mind what's in there, I guess. Is there anything we can do? What do we want to do? Suma's not responding.
I guess we have to hear him out and hope that we don't fight.
Well, we're in the Hall of Illusions, right? So, like, we could just fucking dip and go right back. We could, just get right back to the party, right? Like, we could just leave.
If you
Technically.
feel like there's a reason for your characters to do so at this juncture, sure.
No, I mean, I just curious because, like, why would we go in?
Well, they still have some of the stuff, and you guys did
They
have a
have to-
vested interest in some way of trying to kill King Wongo at some point.
I definitely have a vested interest in wanting to kill King Wongo, but
I understand we want to kill him.
I'm not confident that we can do it
without
without
Suma, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, would we want to go in right now?
Come on. I don't buy it.
Can we?
And with my
can we just talk to
insight,
the
I
mirror?
definitely don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't.
I can hear you back there, you know.
But if we get back here, we're
this
gonna
is a
go
trap.
through the portals again. Hang on.
No, I have other means of taking you where you need to go.
I mean, if we like leave and come back, or do we get like a waystone portal we can just go into our map and teleport to?
If you leave, you will not be able to return this way.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, also go in there right now. We don't have to come on. We can just find out what's going on. Maybe feel like, yeah, we're good, and then back later.
Ruby, any thoughts?
I don't like the idea of going back, but yeah, it seems.
Do the masks that we
Something?
have, they protect us, right? Like even ours do. We don't need the special enchantment.
To your understanding, that's what they do.
As long as we keep them on, right?
I don't even know if you know that.
Do we know?
Specifically.
Okay. Well, I have.
Suma knew that.
I do have written in my notes something about it.
Yeah, like it was revealed to. I'm not sure if you've shared all exchanged all the information, but
I don't know if I learned this or if Suma learned it and I wrote it down. I usually try not to write down what you guys learned.
I think we knew that stuff before. I
But
think
we
the only
all-
new information since we got separated is the part where when they get repaired, it makes you more vulnerable. Actually,
Oh, okay. So we should be fine.
but
I
this I
mean,
think we knew
We could just
already.
go in there and talk. Do you think we're not gonna get away if we go in there and talk? Do you think it's gonna be just we're to go to a fight?
I don't know if it's I don't think it's a guaranteed fight. I think it's playing with fire in another sense. But I want my stuff back too.
Yeah, I think it's worth talking.
King Wungo, is there a fast way back if we go through this final mirror?
Yes,
I don't
of
want to.
course. Come through, have a chat with old King Wungo, and I'll take you back where you need to go. That's a guarantee.
Just always talking. I just don't.
Where we need to go in our sense, correct?
You betcha.
Wow, this guy's a creep.
Can we make like a pact with him? Like
No more packs with the
We-
thing. We've already went down
we
that
make a
route.
pact, and then he has to make a pact back, right? He gives us something.
I feel like the pact here is we talk to him, he gives us our shit, we dip. But
I mean,
no more
we
packs with
could
the
make
thing.
him promise. We can make him promise not to do mind control on us.
Let's make him pinky promise.
Yeah.
Does Frog have pinkies?
Make him
Kind of. They're
finger.
webbed though.
Yeah.
Well, some of them have more apart ones. Like tree frogs, I think. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right. I'm of the mind that we just go through. I don't see where. I mean, unless like our plan truly is to just no talk, go in and kill him later. Otherwise, if we do want to talk, to like at least learn, maybe we learn something that's useful, even if we don't want to side with him, which I don't think we do.
Let's.
The other-
I hate this.
The alternative is going to talk to Titania, and I really don't want to do that.
But
I
Suma's
mean-
already doing that.
Well,
going to.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's
Suma's got
going
it
well,
handled.
I would say.
I
Yeah.
also think
Talking is one way to put it.
when Suma learned that the request was going to be for Zulia, I don't think any of us were told that, were we?
I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think
Because
so.
we found out from the fortune person.
The horse. It was the magic. The like merry-go-round
Oh, the horse. You're right. Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah,
let's just talk with King Wungo.
Yeah, we don't know anything bad's going on. We're like, alright. So I think we go to one.
Okay. Ruby, you're
We
down as
think
well?
bad things can happen, but what are the chances?
I split the party.
Okay.
Let's commit.
Committing?
Committing.
Committing. Okay. Bev?
I mean, I don't think I have a choice.
We could split 2 and 2.
If you want to run
Right.
back, you can run back. You know where the mirrors are in the places that you were. I guess you'd have to go through those people's houses again, but
Yeah,
Well,
but I
what do we
can't
have?
exactly leave my.
Like we're in the Hall of Mirrors, right? Like if we walk backwards right now, we just leave, right? Or do we have to go?
no,
back?
backwards is the last mirror you came from.
Okay, I'm right.
So you'd have to talk to the people in Alok's fan club and then go to the family's house again.
If we want to
then
help
go
Suma,
to
it might be
Vesper's
faster
tower.
just to talk to King Wungo.
I think we just talked to Wango, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we have no reason to think like, oh, we have to get to Suma immediately. As far as we know, it's like, oh, maybe they're waiting.
Yeah, you technically don't. know
Yeah,
that he's
I
in
mean,
trouble.
I just said that I was going to talk to her, but
Yeah.
you know, that's not like
It
a life
could
or
be
death.
something as simple as she's like, oh,
It's
let's
not a
wait
life
for
or
the-
death situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it makes sense we just because as long as our intention is not to get in a fight with Wango, I think it makes like we shouldn't be too worried not having Suma.
While we once I go through the mirror towards King Wungo,
Mhm.
can I try to hone in on Calypso's power? He's taken some of her power, correct?
Mhm.
Would it be possible for me to try to hone in on where that is, or
Yes, but that will be after you pass through.
okay?
Okay, are we on board with passing through?
Yeah. can I get one reminder quickly? Because I don't know if it was relevant to this. I remember last time we were talking about Alok having to do something with the amulet to like summon something for something to do something.
It's when Ruby gives some of the artifacts back to Priscilla, it has to go through your amulet.
I see. Okay.
Okay. You guys, a little trepidatious, walk through the mirror and out of another one that has been laid against a rock. This appears to be the mirrors the Kenku brothers have been using to come and go between Wungo's domain and the Hall of Illusions and the Carnival. As soon as you step through, the Kenku brothers take 2 large mallets and shatter the mirror behind you. Wungo lifts up on his lily pad and says,
Well, well, well. It took you long enough. It's good to see you, friends. Uncle Wungo has a lot to say to you. But don't worry, we'll be quick. After all, Titania's about to kill your friend.
and that is where we're going to end this session. With you guys entering into Wungo's domain, who seems to be aware of what's happening over in this map with Titania and Suma. And with Suma perhaps about to be murked unceremoniously by a bunch of high-level Eladrin knights, handpicked by an archfey. We will see what happens next time. Thank you guys for the sesh. I know we went over. Sorry about that. It felt right a bit.
Yeah,
Suspense.
It felt
It felt
good to end it
Yeah, I
here.
think that was.
Narratively speaking, I think. But yeah, we will figure out what happens next time around.
Suma kills Titania.
Yeah.
Suma's that strong.
Yeah, I was just, well, I have the bag of holding, so obviously I have all the super powerful magic items.
Oh yeah,
that are
for
in it.
sure.
Obviously.
This could only go well.
Yeah. Interesting that split the party here.
We should stop doing that, guys. I'm gonna be
Well,
honest.
it's never failed us before, except for that one time Suma died. Oh, you know what? Suma's gonna die again doing it. It works out for the majority of us. 75% of us, it's fine.
God, so why didn't you just buy time by saying, "Oh wait, before I go to Titania, let me use the restroom"? That could have been a straight hour extra.
Let me, like,
I
really
just
quickly
didn't think of
explain
that.
everything. Maybe I just like tell you my whole
Elves,
backstory.
you see, elves don't pee, so there's.
They use
that.
magic to whoosh the pee away.
Oh no!
Uh,
No, anything but that.
the real question is, where do they whoosh it to? And
The
that's
P dimension?
That's way worse.
No.
Oh no, it's a P elemental.
No,
Huh.
no,
Hope
no,
you
no,
never
no.
randomly teleport there.
The piss elemental.
I'd rather go to the lava
No.
dimension.
I'm from the piss dimension.
Okay.
That's what they sound like, probably.
Also, is that new art for
Oh,
Suli?
God.
I feel like I'm.
Yeah,
see that.
it is. I'll post the full one in the chat because I do have a full one.
Yeah. Oh, did I do an art spoiler? Sorry.
It's not really a spoiler, I
not
guess.
the
How dare you.
It's just
spoilers, man.
I spoiled the art before you got
Ah.
the chance to reveal it.
Can we redo the
it was
session
gonna
without
be such a
spoiling that?
dramatic reveal, but no, I'll just show it now if we're doing that. Is this the right chat? I don't know. Oh well. Here it goes. Goral.
Insane.
Goral.
Yeah.
I love the background. Like the way that you. I don't know why the background is what I commented on. I guess I've seen it before, and I hadn't commented on the background before.
And a little
I like the way you
watercolor.
do that little watercolor thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It looks so elegant.
It adds so
And, like,
much to it, even though it's like so
It
little.
does. I
It's crazy.
feel that.
Yeah.
Insane.
Feel free to make your own token. I just picked a random color.
Oh no, this works
And
just
shoot me
dandy.
a toke if you like.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I hope this session was fun. It was a lot of like random situations you guys were thrust into, I think.
I mostly feel bad for Suma because I feel like he got the short end of the stick. Or not, like
Yeah.
Liz. I feel like Liz got the short end of the
You
It's
got
okay.
a weird
I got
hag,
to
and then
listen. I got to
someone
listen to my
told you
little podcast.
your kid's gonna die.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Or
you
not
gotta
die,
get
but
a
be in
15-minute
prison.
podcast of us not knowing what to do.
Being like, man, if Sumo was here.
Where's the brain before the group?
It's okay. I didn't actually have anything prepared that would have been helpful. I didn't have identify or comprehend languages or dispel magic or anything prepared.
I think
So
comprehend is a ritual though. I guess you couldn't do it.
it is, but you know they were already
Yeah. You
punching
Maybe
you
we can get
guys.
them to wait 10 minutes. Maybe we can.
Don't worry. Tomorrow, when I am still alive, for sure, I'll prepare comprehend languages.
So remember how we like made those backup characters that aren't really backup characters? You might need a backup character that's actually a backup character.
Oh, luckily, I mean, I've made her already, but I don't know how she's gonna get to the Feywild, so
We'll find a way.
we'll see about that.
We'll find a way. But yeah,
But,
perhaps you've
yeah, next time
already
will be interesting.
perhaps you've already seen one of your backup characters in a way. Like maybe it's one of those commoners. Fucking, maybe it's the one holding the shield in the
It's actually
thing.
Pearl.
It's fucking Pearl the whole time.
Who's Tiny Tim?
I'm
Maybe
actually
you-
the
which one of
Winter
us?
Knight. You just didn't
Maybe
know
if you
it.
went to the fucking igloo, you would have met one of your cool backup characters. I don't know.
Mm.
I had a whole igloo map. I'm just kidding. I did not have an igloo map.
I'm happy we went to the chapelette. Like, even though it sucks that we didn't, go the other one.
I'm
I'm happy we got to see the chosen one.
I would have rather died to the soldiers. We should go back.
That's very ironic.
I was like, what's the worst possible thing for Alok to experience? And I was like, I've got it.
I
got it.
experienced a dead domain where she's like, yeah, you're kind of dead. I'm like, yeah, thanks for reminding me. Cool, okay. And then the next thing was, oh yeah, also, you're revered. Like, okay. Alok loves that, yeah. Absolutely great.
Oh, you're making t-shirts. I'm gonna make an Alok worshipping t-shirt, and I'm gonna print it, and
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
wear it in real
It says,
life.
don't say his name on it.
Oh my god.
Seriously, stop worshiping me.
The amount of
Stop worshiping
questions.
me.
It's like, if this
Public.
actually becomes like a religion, like, it's so funny to think that that's how, like, the how, like, the tenets they follow started. It's because of stupid shit like that. Where... Oh god, that's so funny.
Ah,
to
yes,
think
the
about.
Church of the Nameless One.
Oh my god.
Don't
Imagine-
speak of me. Shut it.
And no one knows, like, the origin. Everyone's like, it's so mysterious, but no.
Look, the main
YOLO.
tenant. You must. Yes, YOLO. Be smart, live long.
YOLO. There's like they're fucking singing it.
It's gonna be the worst religion.
The worst religion yet devised.
Yeah.
I love Tiny
Ah.
Tim though. I think he's
Yeah.
great.
Tiny Tim
It
was
wasn't
kind
until,
of
like,
gangster.
after you mentioned, like, guy in authority, like, yeah, we are talking to him like this guy's authority. He was described as a kid.
Yeah, I was like, I was just gonna use him for that one line of like, what should we do? The world's in trouble. I just kept talking as him.
They were
I
like-
answered every other question as him.
Hey, here's some existential crises for, like, you to experience right now as a kid. You know, you can become the leader. We really do that a lot.
I really want to know what kind of Alok fan fiction they make.
Nope. Don't want to
Mm.
know.
I feel like they do some good ones.
But, like,
Only the
what
best
would the
for
relationship
my-
be? Because they don't even know you guys. Like, what would they have made?
They just make up people that you'd have relationships with. It'd be great. You'd show in without your shirt. You'd be carrying a horse after saving it from a burning building.
Is that
It's not
a
even a
thing?
It's like a
fan fiction.
self-insert OC, you know?
This isn't even a fan fiction. This is, like, actually.
Is there Jesus fan fiction?
Oh yeah, there's
Oh,
gotta
for
be.
sure, 100%. It's mostly with the his apostles. I'm pretty sure, like the.
Oh my
That
god, you
would
said
make sense.
JC
Like
with
Judas?
Paul? That's crazy.
I guarantee you, there's a lot for Judas. Jesus and Judas. are
Oh
like
yeah,
a
the
bit.
angst on that will go
Mm.
crazy. Lovers to enemies.
Yeah. And when he's stabbing him, he's like, it's like an intimate moment somehow.
Hashtag betrayal. Hashtag no resolution.
I'm there for it.
Wow.
I am so scared of how long it's gonna be until we get back, because the longer it is, the more time those followers have to fester and ruin what happened just now.
I think it's already fucked, to be honest with
If
you.
it's like a day later,
It's
then
been,
like
what,
I can get
5
back and be like,
minutes
okay,
here?
I'm
It's been
here, I have
several
time.
weeks at least.
Let's clean this up. But if it's like a
You can say my
half
name
a year-
again.
Yeah, if it's a half a year, then it's gone. It's wildfire.
It's done for. I'm not even associated there.
Oh man,
Ah,
love it.
incredible. This was a fun session. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Mhm.
guys,
It's a
for
banger after banger.
playing. This has been a good arc, I think, so far.
Mm-hmm.
This has been good.
Yeah.
We're like what, 4 sessions in? 3 sessions in? Oh, 3 sessions in?
So how likely do you think it is that we can kill Queen Titania? I assume she's a weakling.
I mean, I'm gonna
Hmm.
solo her. That's my plan. So
Let me solo her.
I think just like
Yeah,
one
you have
shot
like
her.
the- yeah.
you guys can just, you know, you can talk as long as you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah,
I'm
put the
I'm
little
good.
pot on your head and you got this.
Wow. It's only been 3 sessions
Yeah,
of the Feywild.
That is crazy.
It feels like longer.
A lot.
Not just in terms of how long we've been here, like real time, but like how much has happened.
Yeah,
A lot has happened. I
Yeah.
feel.
it really does feel that way.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it probably has to do with like in almost every session we've had the party split a little bit, and like that means that we're getting like twice as much story going on in like 2 different separate spots.
That's true.
Mm.
Also, you don't know anybody here, so there's not a ton of like, oh, let's check in on, talk to this person, let's go find this
Yeah.
person, talk to that
Some
person.
time. Yeah,
There's
so
no shops.
it's
I guess
just
there was the carnival shop.
constant. I love it. It's been great.
Yeah, we'll see how many sessions are left. But not that many more, I don't think.
We're heading on
Um,
100.
Yeah, we're pretty fast. We're going through it pretty fast, which was my goal, was to have shorter arcs from here on out.
I think
as
it
we
makes
go
sense.
towards.
Especially with
Yeah.
the time skip for the red wraith to like pick up. I think that makes a lot of sense to get there. Because otherwise we'd be like, all right, I guess we're just like, well, let's just sail around for a year until he starts doing
Yeah.
shit.
I need to lay down, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. Night,
Yeah.
night.
Good night, guys. Thanks for
Alright.
staying
Yeah.
up. Sorry
Bye,
we went
guys.
late.
Have a good one.
So yeah.
See ya.